18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, we've got the supplies to keep things running smoothly. Stop by C2 Supply, 602N, Broadway in Poteau, or give us a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let us see to your supply needs.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
0 down and sales tax paid only at Orr Auto Park in Fort Smith. The Orr Pre-Owned Clearance event lasts until July 31st, so don't miss your chance to save big. With hundreds of pre-owned vehicles to choose from, Orr has exactly what you are looking for. But it's time for them to go and time for you to take advantage of the Orr Pre-Owned Clearance event now through July 31st. 0 down and sales tax paid. What are you waiting for? The Orr Clearance event only lasts until July 31st. Score more with Orr today.
You'll always get more at Orr.
Need more customers? I'm Lance Gregory with ESPN Arkansas. Let me help you grow your business with the power of radio and digital marketing working together. From radio advertising to targeted digital campaigns, I can help you reach the right audience, increase awareness, and drive results for your business. Let's build a marketing plan that fits your goals and gets new customers. Email me today at lance.gregory@hitthatline.com. Radio and digital sales combined, helping local businesses grow.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Our high this afternoon will be into the middle 90s at heat index right around 105 to 107. Mainly clear near 80 overnight, and then lots of sunshine close to triple-digit readings on Tuesday with a heat index near 110. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 47 days.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's halftime. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on HitThatLine.com.
Said you had very motivational words at halftime.
Oh, intermission. No, it's halftime.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people are in the W?
Sports sports talk that doesn't sound like everyone else.
There's a formula to win here at Arkansas.
Let me see a little bit of heart, and you're talking about toughness. A little bit of toughness, a little bit of heart. Gonna make things feel a whole lot better.
Matt, you're my favorite Arkansas Razorback. Love your show. Matt, you're one of my all-time Razorback heroes. What up, Alyssa? Welcome to the halftime show. It's my favorite.
Thank you.
The Hit That Line show.
It's halftime with Alyssa Orange.
You guys are gonna notice I talk way too much, and you're probably gonna have to tell me to be quiet.
Colton Little.
Colton Little.
And Razorback legend Matt Jones.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. This is halftime.
Welcome into halftime here on this Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little back with us from vacation. I might be on a little bit of I'm going to call it a vacation because I can see the ocean and palm trees, but we are here at SEC Media Days in Tampa. Man, I got to soak in some of that fresh ocean air yesterday. It just is good for your soul, man. I'm feeling really, really good down here in Tampa as we've got a week-long event ahead of us with SEC Media Days. Talking season is upon us. We have gotten to hear from Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, already today, as well as Eli Drinkowitz and Brett Venables. We've got Will Stein, the new head coach for Kentucky, coming up, as well as Josh Heupel for Tennessee. So a lot going on today as SEC Media Days gets kicked off here in Tampa. But more importantly, Matt Jones, congratulations to Spain.
Hey,
well done.
I get lucky every once in a while.
You get your tacos.
I got lucky. Man, that was a fun tournament in all the ways that you could have a soccer tournament in America and it go to plan. You didn't have any things like outside the tournament. I thought that it was well run. You had a lot of great games, a lot of passion, a lot of joy. Really, really cool to see the different cultures and to see. I've been to it's Medina. It's the President's Cup or it's one of the
Chicago.
I went and to see the Europeans. Their paint's fading and the way that they kind of go about it. It's the closest thing to college football atmosphere. The soccer world and how Europe kind of they really attach themselves to their team. It's kind of a religion. They live and die with it, and it was very noticeable the passion that everybody had for this World Cup. And I just say good job to everybody that ran it, and it does help that before the thing started, I picked the winner. So yeah, that does feel better.
That does help. Big time win. That was a big time win for them over Argentina, 2-0. And it was exciting. I was watching it here at the Yard House in Tampa with some friends. And man, it was funny because you had the Spain side of the bar and the Argentina side of the bar. And it definitely was one-sided there towards the end. So it was really fun to watch and kind of soak all that in. And the third place game between France and England was exciting. 10 goals.
How cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it's another taco I won. I can't get away from them. I can't get away from them. Then you had the British Open, which is my favorite of all the majors. I know a lot of people like Augusta, and I like Augusta too. The Masters is amazing, but my personal, I like the British Open. I think it's pretty cool, and the elements play a fact. A lot of times in that. The wind could be blowing 20 miles out of the north, and the very next time you're playing, there could be zero wind at all, or it could be raining with 20 miles out of the south. It's just how you have to adjust your game and be able to adapt. But I thought the British Open came down to a little theater as well.
Yeah, did you watch Ryan Fox win it?
I watched most of the. Yeah. I didn't see 18, but earlier in the morning I had it on watching. Kind of as you're doing your chores and stretching and fixing breakfast, because of the time difference. So, yeah, I did have it on. But about 10 o'clock when they started pregame for the World Cup, I kind of switched over to, what's going to take precedence with me.
Hey, Alyssa, the finish there at the Open you mentioned with Ryan Fox, I have never seen somebody hit a winning putt so fast. The guy just stepped up and hit it. He didn't even think about it. His pace of play is going to make him a really popular guy on tour now that he finally got his first win. Never had a top 10 finish before yesterday. Great story.
Yeah, I think it tells you like all those guys who step up to their approach, pause, step back, reassess, step back on, get their approach ready, step back, assess. Like I like Ryan Fox, just go up there and he putts like me. Just go up there and putt because if you overthink it, you're gonna miss it, right? And usually I miss more than I make it, and he's probably a lot more talented on the putting than I am. But just go up there and hit it, and that's exactly what he did to win the Open. That's the third guy from New Zealand to win the British Open, so that was really cool.
Then you had the Yankees and Dodgers last
How about
night.
it?
Did you
How
get to
about
see any
that?
of
I did. I did get to see a little bit. I was watching soccer, hanging out with some friends down here. That's another thing with Tampa, and of course, where I went to school. A lot of my friends relocated to big cities once we graduated. So I've got a handful of friends here in Tampa. I got to spend some time with them yesterday. One of my best friends from college, got to hang out with her, so that was a lot of fun. So I keep up with it on my phone if I'm not able to watch it. Man, but how about that? The Dodgers taking 2 out of 3 against the Yankees in the Bronx. They hadn't been there since they won the World Series there 2 years ago. So, man, the Dodgers are playing well right now. This is really interesting what's going on with Shohei Ohtani at the moment and that injury. And then you have, you've got Will Smith, who's got the neck thing going on too. I don't know what they're going to do. Dalton Rushing's playing fine behind the dish, but, the Dodgers just keep winning. So that's always a good thing in my world. I know. I'm sorry, Colton.
It's okay. No, you picked your team. You stick with them. I've got no hate.
I was born into my team. I was born into my team, guys.
How do you feel about a doubleheader? This question's for both you guys.
Yeah.
So your baseball team's getting ready to play, and it's a doubleheader. And the first game, you win by 7, 8, 9 runs. It's kind of not even close, and you're like, yeah. And then that second game, you lose 1-0 or 2-1. Does it kind of negate the first game, or do you just that's just kind of baseball? That's how it goes.
That's baseball, Susan.
That's baseball. Yep. That's baseball, especially too if you've already won the first 2, and now at Major League Baseball, there's so many games that those games, at the end of the day, don't carry a ton of weight. They do. Wins and losses are important, but in the grand scheme, it's not like Arkansas. During the regular season, you're playing a series. You got to win. You want to win a series, so you got to win at least 2. That third one, especially late in the day. I mean, these guys play so much baseball. It's just kind of, it's fine. Get on a plane and go home.
Anytime you play 2 games in one day, getting one is good. Losing the other one's respectable.
You just don't want to lose both.
You just don't want to lose both of them. That's the only thing you can't do.
Yeah. Split them in half, and you'll do just that. Hey, how about this news? Do you see this as well? Arkansas going to play Indiana at Madison Square Garden. How awesome is that? Let's do that. That got announced earlier today before the show started. That's going to be, man, that's the one thing I love about Cal is how much exposure it's gotten Arkansas. You're playing in Detroit on Thanksgiving. You're playing in Kansas City on Thanksgiving. You're playing in Madison Square Garden now for the 2nd straight year. They played at least 2 years ago. I love it, and it's so fun, and it gets people excited, and it's the Cal effect. Not that Arkansas wasn't doing that before, but this is very much a John Calipari influenced decision here to get Arkansas to play Indiana in New York City.
Who is the best Indiana basketball player since number 40, Calbert Chaney? Is there somebody when you're thinking, or because who's fell off a cliff is Indiana basketball, and Victor Oladipo, OG Anunoby. There's a couple guys. Eric Gordon was a shooter that played a little bit. Is OG Anunoby maybe the best player since Indiana in the last 20 years, or is it Victor Oladipo? Because used to be, man, Indiana basketball, 70s, 80s, whatever, that was where it's at. Since Calbert Chaney's been there, I can't really tell you a whole lot of just stellar Indiana basketball alumni.
Yeah, that's true. I think the only one that I didn't really pay much attention growing up to Indiana basketball, but everyone knew, Hoosiers, when you make a movie about yourself, you're supposed to be pretty good, right? But Keith Smart was on the staff with Eric Musselman, and he is the one that hit the shot for the national championship. So if you were to ask Indiana people, they know who Keith Smart is. I don't really know, and that's just my my ignorance when it comes to Indiana basketball. But you're right. That you would think, even if you don't follow Indiana basketball, Matt, to your point, you'd know a name to come out of that program if they were producing talent still.
Yeah, Matt, nobody's been able to replicate what Bobby Knight did there at Indiana, and I don't think anybody ever will. It's really great because, you see Indiana, and right now, like you said, Matt, they haven't put out, anything great in quite a while, but Calbert Chaney looking like probably the most popular guy. They've had a handful of guys, and recently, Matt, I think that you were spot on with Victor Oladipo because he carved out a really successful NBA career. Also a fantastic singer, if you haven't seen him on The Masked Singer. Really, really good. Does a cover of Casey Musgraves.
So in the last 26 years.
He'd be the only one.
The last 26 years since the year 2000, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Go ahead and guess how many Indiana victories. How many games has Indiana basketball won in the March Madness tournament since the year 2000? No wrong guesses.
4.
Brett Favre is what you're going with?
I'm going to go with 6.
Joe Montana. They've won. And I'm trying to think. So in 2002, they won 4. That's the most. 2002. So since the year 2000, they won 4 in 2002, and they don't have more than 2 wins ever since then. So, like, you just talk about somebody who's fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoot.
So it's a good time to play him in Madison Square Garden.
That's Can we get Alabama on the football schedule?
I mean, right? Indiana, North Carolina, Michigan State, you're playing Gonzaga in an exhibition. Alyssa, you were spot on, too. Coach Cal coming in here makes these games, these marquee matchups just happen like it's nothing. He just snaps his fingers. All of a sudden, the Razorbacks are back in another primetime game. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk more about that. Got a lot to talk about here at SEC Media Days as football season, talking season officially upon us. We're getting things kicked off here in Tampa, Florida, and our coverage from SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road. Also, if you've missed any of the shows, don't worry. The Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast, and the 479 Equipment Ruskin and Zach podcast, all available where you listen. So each show unique, going to have some fun, going to have some great content, and all you have to do is just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay up to date on our social media as well that are posted daily after the show. You can find them at hitthatline.com. And as always, don't forget to rate, review, and share. The World Cup is over. No more soccer to watch, but we're going to talk about how it all unfolded after the break. Stick around.
At SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baumwalker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff, it doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I don't know how you look at any of this as a negative, personally. Now, this deal was orchestrated by Learfield, right?
They're not buying Learfield. They're buying the University of Arkansas athletics department. They're buying into this administration from an athletic standpoint. They're buying into, hey, these guys will deliver what we're signing up for. That's what they're buying into.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, we've got the supplies to keep things running smoothly. Stop by C2 Supply, 602N, Broadway in Poteau, or give us a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let us see to your supply needs.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
You know your business. I know the fans. Together, we're a championship roster. In Arkansas, loyalty is everything, and nobody connects with the Razorback Faithful like our team here at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. When you partner with us at ESPN Arkansas, you're not just buying airtime. You're gaining trusted voices that talk to your customers every single day. I'm Ty Richardson. Let's grow your business together, both on air and through digital avenues. Become a partner at ESPN Arkansas. Email ty.richardson@HitThatLine.com to start your campaign today.
Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
Welcome back here to Halftime. Alyssa Orange here. We're at SEC Media Days in Tampa. We're on Radio Row right now, which is always a fun scene, guys. It is literally just tables down a hallway here at the Marriott right there on the bay, and everyone's sitting here doing their shows just like I am. You guys back in studio having a grand old time as well. The World Cup is in the books. Matt, grading the World Cup, giving it a grade, I think it gets an A. I think the United States did a really great job, as did Canada, as did Mexico, hosting this tournament the last month and a half.
No, it was super cool. There were some new guys that came onto the scene that people are going to love. Mark Gahey is one of them. He plays at Man City. He plays for England. Nico O'Reilly's a 21-year-old that also plays at the center back spot that plays for City. Edward Holling came on to a lot of people. If you know soccer, you love it. And if you're just getting into it, then you love it even more.
Yes,
so in seeing that, Spain started 2 teenagers in the finals. That's the first time in the history of the World Cup that a team started 2 teenagers in the finals. So the game's in good hands. Mbappe doing his thing. Messi's last ride. Jude Bellingham, England's best finish since 1966. This was the best finish for England. I thought the best team won. Cape de Verde, grabbing at the heartstrings as well. There was so many good storylines. And Morocco Obama doing their thing. I'll never forget that.
That's a Finn special. Finn said that to Matt one day off show.
That was good. I was like, who are your teams? He's like Messi, and then he's like Barack Obama. I was like, okay, I'll have to say that, man. I dig it. Germany getting bounced out early, already made a coaching change. Before this tournament ended, they had already fired their coach and hired a new coach. I think Germany will be back next year. It's going to have this effect, the butterfly effect, or whatever you want to call it. But in 20 years, I do think it's going to be like what the Dream Team did in Barcelona, Spain in 1992.
Yeah.
the whole world kind of gravitated toward, and they see the joy, the passion, because you can't fake that. And so I think a lot of that happened in America with soccer, and I think all we did was further along and get better. It doesn't mean we're going to be the fourth best team or win a World Cup, but I do think American soccer got better by having this tournament on home soil.
The Nike commercial that they released during this World Cup, I think it might have been during the final. That's the first time that I had seen it, about this kid up there kicking a soccer ball against a brick wall wearing the United States men's national team jersey, and he kicked the ball so many times that a brick fell out of the wall. And the message of the commercial was, maybe United States won't ever play in this game, but maybe they will. And you want to know why? And it's because the kid kicking the ball, he goes, because he thinks they will. So kind
Gotta
of
keep trying.
point,
That's right.
Yeah.
To your
Oh, man.
point,
That
Matt,
just
it's
gave me, like,
people
goosebumps.
buying in. Like, you're exactly right. That's how I felt. I mean, the pageantry yesterday was one of the best parts about the match. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, yes, it was a little bit boring. You knew it was going to be a defensive struggle most of the game. But the pageantry surrounding everything yesterday was fantastic. I was telling you guys off the air a minute ago, when Tom Cruise walked out and started talking with the dramatic underlay, I was like, man, I'm about ready to go, like, fly an aircraft or something like that. Or go, dig a hole or run through a wall.
Also, too, I think a lot's to be said about the host cities and how they really welcomed all of the different people from different countries around the world into their cities, the fanfare, the excitement. I mean, I don't think there's going to be many, if any, people who leave to go back to where they came from saying that they didn't enjoy their time in the United States, wherever they were, whether they documented it on social media. But all of those photos, it was really cool to see so many different cultures come together and unite around a game, and we talk about all the time about how competitive sports is and how everyone loves it and people live and die by it. But at the same time, it's supposed to be fun and it's a game. And the love of the game, I think, was the strongest thing that you can take away from the World Cup, is that's what we saw personified these last couple of weeks.
No, it was on full display, and that's true. The passion, the theater, the drama, the biting of the fingernail. We're all Houston Nut biting our fingernails out there, and they all live for their country. But then there's also a respect thing. You didn't have any of this New York Knicks, San Antonio Spurs trying to beat each other up at the end of the day. It's, hey, look, support your country, but we're all here together. That's a little. They had a little more class than what the NBA Finals had this year. And the other thing that's really got it going on, Alyssa, I don't know if you've seen any of this, but it has re-sparked the debate about having all grass surfaces on NFL stadiums.
Ooh,
and that's because that's the
interesting.
truth. It comes down to money, because when you have an all grass surface, you're not able to have Shakira come in and do a performance, or Taylor Swift, whoever you want, because to get all her equipment in, you're messing up the field. So you got to have two different surfaces. But if you just have the plastic and the rubber, then you're able to do all that and keep. But it's not as safe. I think we all understand that the grass surface is better. So maybe that gets changed as well over the next handful of years.
Yeah, that's a big thing to kind of keep an eye on, exactly how that goes. And I know that teams, Arkansas reevaluates every 10 years. Do we get grass? Do we get turf? Do we go back to grass? Kind of goes back and forth. And so it'll be an interesting conversation that opens itself up. Absolutely. Another thing too, I think that you look at, you talk about, Erling Haaland, stars that have come out, like everyone now, I know who Jude Bellingham is, and I can say Jude Bellingham in public and people know who I'm talking about, right? Like we talk about Mbappe. People knew who Messi is and people know who Ronaldo is, but other guys have kind of made names for themselves, which is really cool here in the United States. And there are kids and there are people around the country that said, I got to see him play in person, and that's not something that you get to do a lot when you're a soccer fan here in the United States. So you look ahead at where the World Cup will be in the future, right? So I thought this was really cool, Matt. In 2030, it's the 100th anniversary of the first World Cup, and this is what they're doing. They're going to start it in South America, and then they're going to move the main tournament after I think that round robin, to Europe and Africa. So they're going to move it
More
to Spain, Portugal, Morocco,
Yep.
which is really interesting. That's a lot of jet lag potentially. But what do you think about that setup?
I dig it. Now the games will be a totally different time for us in America because of that 6, 7, 8 hour time difference. It's truly a world game, a global game, and You think about Spain and Portugal, some of the great players. Spain just won it, so they're the defending champs, and they get to host it on their home soil. I think Germany bounces back next year. It's going to be interesting to see what Argentina and Portugal do, honestly, because for the last 20 years, and I kind of think this about the U.S. Olympic basketball team. LeBron James and Steph Curry aren't going to be on the basketball team in 2028. Messi and Ronaldo are not going to be at the World Cup in 4 years. So there's going to be a lot of things changing. Some of these teenagers you've seen, there's going to be other stars that kind of come into the fold. Does Christian Pulisic bounce back? I know there's a lot of haters on Pulisic. I'm not one of them. When you're hurt, man, he can't play. He's hurt. So give the dude a break for 2 seconds. It's not like he wasn't trying. He was hurt.
Yeah.
So is that something that Pulisic bounces back in 4 years, or is he even on the team in 4 years?
Yeah, we're going to have to see exactly what the U.S. team looks like, and maybe there's some emerging stars on this U.S. team here in 4 years. But I think, if anything, I know that a lot of people would love to have the World Cup back in 12 or 16 years back here in the United States. Hey, you know what else? Over the weekend, I think on Friday, Colton, we got a qualifier for this Hardee's burger eating contest. Yes, I think we did. We got a qualifier, and they posted a video, and I couldn't watch it.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? Hey, if you want to qualify as well, the Monster Burger Eating Contest right now is back at Hardee's. ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. We're teaming up one more time. We've done it 21 consecutive years now. This will be the 21st consecutive year for the ESPN Arkansas and Hardee's Monster Burger Eating Contest. We're going to be at a Hardee's location here in the River Valley both Tuesday and Thursday of this week. So be sure that you listen daily, watch our social media for the time and the place for your chance to qualify. You got to finish that Monster Burger in less than 150 seconds. And when you do, you get a chance to compete later this August for a chance to win the football trip of a lifetime. Hey, we're sending you back to Vegas. You get to watch the Raiders and the Chiefs. It'll be a fantastic game in one of the best venues in all of football, completely on ESPN Arkansas and Hardee's dime. So qualify for your chance at a football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. The Monster Burger Eating Contest qualifiers this Tuesday and this Thursday at a Hardee's location here in the River Valley. Alyssa may not be there, but I will be there, and I will be ready to watch.
But I wish you all the best of luck.
Yes, and not to choke, of course.
Please don't.
Like, actually physically choke, and then...
please don't choke.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, please don't choke. A lot of guys hoping they don't choke on the microphone here at SEC Media Days. We've got a lot to get to. Want to hear from Greg Sankey. He kicked it off this morning. Talked a lot about the 9-game schedule, guys, that we have kicked off in the SEC, as well as expansion. We're going to hear from the commissioner after the break.
Stay off the weed.
This is halftime.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best items, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum-Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Meadows Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, you can get $80 off DeWalt Atomic 20-volt brushless impact and driver kits, or $50 off select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Championship caliber teams like the Razorbacks rely on proven performers. So do smart businesses. That's why Datamax proudly partners with Kyocera Office Technology, recognized by Keypoint Intelligence for delivering the industry's most consistent color performance. Kyocera is built for reliability, security, and results you can count on. Combined with the local service and support you've trusted for years, it's a winning combination for your business. Datamax, relevant technology, raving results. If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Zero down and sales tax paid only at Orr Auto Park in Fort Smith. The Orr Pre-Owned Clearance Event lasts until July 31st, so don't miss your chance to save big. With hundreds of pre-owned vehicles to choose from, Orr has exactly what you are looking for. But it's time for them to go and time for you to take advantage of the Orr Pre-Owned Clearance Event now through July 31st. Zero down and sales tax paid. What are you waiting for? Orr Clearance Event only lasts until July 31st. Score more with Orr today.
You always get more at Orr.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I was young and knew everything. She a punk who rarely ever took advice. Now I'm guilt-stricken, sobbing with my head on the floor. Stop a baby's breath and a sheet full of rice. No. Responsible.
Welcome back to Halftime with Alyssa Orange, Colton Little, and Razorback legend Matt Jones. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Now let's get back to Halftime with Arkansas football legend Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
Now, we and I recognize that a 9-game Southeastern Conference football schedule, coupled with our expectation that we maintain a high-quality non-conference opponent, creates one of the most, in fact, I'm going to scratch what I wrote, it creates, without question, the most demanding sets of football schedules in all of college football. The 9-game schedule reflects confidence in our universities, our student athletes, and in our football programs. It preserves great rivalries, historic rivalries, many of which are played every year. It creates more compelling conference matchups and reinforces our long-standing commitment to competitive excellence. When you look at our schedule, no one has created the kind of weekly competition that exists in the Southeastern Conference. It's competition that our fans will experience every week because we believe we're the best conference in college football. And if so, we should also embrace the challenges with a difficult and challenging conference schedule, the best schedule in college football. It will challenge our teams. It will prepare them for the highest level of competition and reflects who we are as a conference.
Well, there you have it. That was Greg Sankey speaking today, kicking off SEC Media Days here in Tampa, Florida, like he always does this time of year. Talking about that 9-game schedule, guys, that the SEC has adopted. That also includes annual rivalries. So now every school has 3 permanent opponents that they will continue to play every single year. As for the rest of the conference games, they'll rotate through it, which is why we don't see Alabama on the schedule for Arkansas this year. That is why none of the Mississippi schools are on the schedule for Arkansas this year. I personally think it's a travesty that Arkansas does not play Ole Miss in football every single season. I mean, I think that game is one of the most exhilarating football games we've seen over the last couple of years, and I wish we got to see it every year, but we don't. However, Arkansas's rotation and their permanent opponents, LSU, Missouri, and Texas, really hard to also argue against any of those as well. So you win some, you lose some, but the 9-game schedule, like he talked about, making it a little bit more competitive for these SEC teams, because one of those games also has to be against a Power 4 team or an independent like Notre Dame. Matt, what do you think? Do you think that this helps Arkansas overall when you're having to play one more conference game when it comes to just playing opponents that are supposed to be equal to you?
Yeah, I don't know that they're doing any of this right. I think you should have 2 divisions. You got 16 teams in there. That means you play those 7 teams. So then you get a true championship. You get a true champion of your East and West. And then if you want to, and you want to rotate the other side, do that. That's it's to me, how do you have a true champion when you're not playing everybody and you're just kind of putting it together? I don't necessarily dig it, but we got to play what the rules are. That's what we're doing. That's how we're going about it. But it just doesn't make sense to me how you wouldn't just have your 2 pods 8-8 and you have a true champion and they play for the championship game. It's right there. We're messing it up. And then, but that's how we're doing it. Arkansas should play Ole Miss every single year. I agree with you. That doesn't make any sense. And then you can rotate some of those other schools, your Georgias, your Floridas, that East Coast. Because we'd obviously be in the West Division. But hey, that's how we do it. They got a way they're going about it. We got a chance to win. I know we talked about this, Alyssa, but when you go from our off day, October 24th, I even think Vanderbilt the game before that on October 17th. But so if you go that game and then you look, Missouri, Auburn, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, those 5 games, and it's scheduled within a bye week. Those are games that we can honestly win. I don't think either one of those teams are going to have a chance to make the playoff 12. LSU, Texas, I do think they do. A&M, I think they do. Georgia, I think they have a chance. Those 4. So when you're kind of divided and saying, hey, these are our 9 teams we play, those first 4 I just said, LSU, Texas, A&M, and Georgia, I think they have a chance. The other 5, I don't. So that's where I think we can see our wins coming from. Maybe we can go 3-2 in that stretch, man.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week too, and I think you're absolutely right. Going back to your point about going back to if the SEC went back to divisions, what would that look like? They had to change this up because they added Texas and Oklahoma into the league and had to kind of figure out what that was going to look like logistically. You take away those conferences, but let's say you put Oklahoma in the West, you add Texas to the East. I think you'd be able to, Matt, to your point, I think you'd be able to build out a schedule because you drop a conference or a non-conference opponent to where you could play everyone and still have these 3 permanent opponents, and you would play maybe one team from the other conference every other year. Maybe you could make it work. But I don't know logistically. They were just looking at trying to see how they can make it as quote unquote fair as possible. But to your point, how do you know who wins if you don't play everybody?
Alyssa, I like the idea too. What Matt was getting at, going back to the East and the West divisions, because like Matt said, you play 7 games. That's every single person in your division, and then say that you want to keep the 9-game SEC slate, which I think is probably not going to change anytime soon. This is what's giving the SEC maybe a little bit of an extra advantage to get as many teams as they can into a college football playoff. So that's not going away. But if you play the 9 games and you go back to the SEC East and the SEC West, what you could potentially, hypothetically do here is you play all 7 teams within your division, just like Matt said. And then you play 2 of the other teams in the SEC East.
And
in
those
that 9
rotate.
games. And those rotate. And that
yeah.
means that every 4 years, you've played at least everybody in the SEC.
Well,
so
that's
a
what they
person comes
used to
in,
do.
You're exactly right.
That's
It's
what they
just
used
like
to do.
It's what they used to
It's
do.
kind of
That's
funny. It's
how
like,
they
but
should
wait,
do it.
that's what they were doing, guys. Why? What is it? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
No, that doesn't.
What
that
are we
doesn't-
doing?
Doesn't apply to college football
Come
anymore.
on now.
So come on.
You know, and it's one of those things too where it was different for Arkansas, right? When your permanent opponent at the last weekend of the year was Missouri, and you always got to play 2 teams out of the East. Well, they played Missouri every year, so then they only rotated one other team from the East, as is, you know, Alabama and Auburn played every year in their rivalry game. So you got to play 2 teams brand new every year. Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm kind of trying to paint? So you're stuck with Missouri every single year as a rival. It limited the number of East teams that they got to play on a yearly basis on that kind of calendar schedule with that kind of rotation. But I think it's a travesty, as I said, that they don't play Ole Miss every year anymore. I mean, every time that those 2 teams face each other on the field, something crazy happens. I mean, we've seen it, we've experienced it. Matt, you experienced it firsthand. Something crazy happens. How you don't play that team every single year blows my mind.
How do you not have? So I would look at it the same way to what you're saying, but so we border Oklahoma, we border Missouri, we border LSU. Why are we those every single it should be a little more regional like that. No question about it when you're talking about having your divisions. And then both the Mississippi schools, and then how far do you want to go over? Do you want to keep A&M, Texas, and Oklahoma and Missouri in the same side? Yes, you do. That's trying to overthink it too much. Oklahoma, Missouri, A&M, and Texas should be on the same side of the graph or whatever division you want it to be in. And then you keep it going like that. And then do you want to put Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So here's the thing, though, guys, because if you think about the last 4 teams that the SEC added to the conference, you've got A&M and Missouri who came in
They're
what,
all in the
2012,
West, yeah.
right? Exactly. I'm talking about where they land on, the map. And then you've got Oklahoma and Texas. They are all right there on the west side of the conference. So you're going to have to completely revamp it. Do you put Alabama and Auburn and move them to the east?
With Florida and Georgia.
You have to move them over.
The question is LSU. Does LSU go to the east or do they stay in the west?
You'd have to move them to the east.
Yeah.
How would that change the balance of power? Because for a long time we thought that the SEC West was the strongest of the divisions. That's where the majority of the champions came from, sparring some Gator stuff that happened. Sorry,
But
Alyssa.
the thing
still,
is, when you put Oklahoma and you put Texas and you put A&M on one side, that's not any difference than having Alabama, Georgia, and Florida on the same side. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's just it's hard. It's hard sledding. I don't think that you could make we can make a case for that. That's for sure. But man, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, same thing as having Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah, it's
and
A&M.
A&M.
And A&M. They're all 3 pretty, man. Those are all 6 really good teams.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I think you could easily spread it and cut it right down the middle. You've got your 8 on the west that actually line up geographically with the west side of the conference, and the 8 on the east, and make it that simple. But you know what, guys? They don't pay us to do that, unfortunately. They've got, guys somewhere in Birmingham that make those decisions. Bruce in Nashville says, why Mizzou, a rival? We play Ole Miss more before SEC. You're right, Bruce, but the SEC said, hey, we're going to hand you this rivalry with Missouri. We're going to call it the Battle Line rivalry, and we're going to build you a trophy for it. So that's why. Hacker in Harrison asks us who our permanent opponents are. And again, our permanent opponents for Arkansas, LSU, Missouri, and Texas. So they will play those 3 teams every year between now and 2029. Yep.
But
I know.
overall, 9-game schedule. Look, we talked about this. The SEC's down right now in terms of where they are in the stanchion of college football. And I'm not up here to stump for the SEC. I could care less. They've never really done anything for Arkansas to help them out in any way, it feels like at times. But at the same time, they're a part of the conference. And if Arkansas is eventually up to snuff with the rest of the conference, the top top level, we'd obviously love to see more strength for the SEC, but they have to have 9 games if they want to continue to put as many teams as they would like to see in the college football playoff.
That's all they care about.
That's all they care
That's
about.
it. That's all they care about at all. We, of course, care about whatever happens with Arkansas here at SEC Media Days in the next few days. They are on Thursday, the final day of SEC Media Days here in Tampa, but we've got a lot to talk about here as we take a break. We're going to hit some of this podium audio as well as Kentucky and Tennessee get ready to hit the podium here after lunchtime. Much more halftime rolling on after this.
Did you say, can I get the ugliest shoes you make and let me wear them? Well, mine are pretty fire.
This is halftime.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling midsize SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit.
I don't know where I can go to let these ghosts out of my skull. My grandma back, my brother's gone. I never ever felt so alive. I know you're supposed to be my spirit with, not just my spare tire. But Lord,
You're listening to Halftime with Alyssa Orange, Colton Little, and Razorback legend Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
Back here on halftime, a little less than 10 minutes until the top of the 12 o'clock hour here on ESPN Arkansas. I know you guys didn't miss me interrupting you the last several days, but I missed doing the
We
today.
missed you.
I
Stop.
missed doing the today in review.
We did miss you.
We missed you. I tried to carry the torch for you, but I'm glad to have you back.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start with today's score. It's a 10 out of 10 because I'm back in the saddle
Fantastic.
with you fine folks, so there's no need to even debate
No
what
complaints
the
on
score
this
is going to
Monday.
be. Now, there is some funny things I would like to get into, though, today regarding today's Today in Review. So, July the 20th here, the year of our Lord 2026. We'll start with the historical events today. Hey, in 1858, the first admission fee is charged to watch a baseball game. 50 cents.
Oh my
Could you
gosh.
imagine getting into a game today for 50
I
cents?
feel like they need to do those throwback
They should.
days where it's like, get in for 50
And I
cents
might-
and a hot dog's a nickel.
I might be off base on this. Somebody with a lot more of an authority on, 1850s history and, economics may have to help me on this. 50 cents seems like quite a bit for back in the day. I've got no idea if that's true or not, but hey, that could be very well very, very true. So also today, in 1876, the first U.S. intercollegiate track meet is held at Saratoga, New York, and Princeton won. So
Of
they
course
were
they
all
did.
just smart folks back then. They had some some good track athletes as well. Hey, we mentioned we were talking earlier. I think it was about Bob Dylan off the air a little bit. Hey, in 1965 today, Columbia Records released a Bob Dylan single, "Like a Rolling Stone." Today in 1965. In 1969, NASA's Apollo 11 lunar module carrying Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin lands on the surface of the moon. 7 hours later, Armstrong becomes the first person to step on the moon. And then Aldrin joined him, and then Michael Collins, he got to stay back, which
Yeah.
is kind of not fair. But
We talked about that last week when they launched, about like, man, if you're Michael Collins and you're literally on the moon and you don't even get to touch it.
Crazy.
I don't know, man.
I
I
would've
would have
had some
I would have gone
serious
out
FOMO.
there and just at least like touched it with
Yeah.
my finger.
I'd have had
You
some
know, like what?
serious
Like
FOMO.
were they just worried that the spaceship was just going to float off without them? That he
Yeah.
had to be in it?
They didn't put a leash on
Like
it or
he
anything,
couldn't,
I
yeah,
don't
he
think.
couldn't just go out and dip his toe in the moon dust.
Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
know.
I don't know. I
I don't
know.
know.
That's okay.
Hey, do some birthdays today. Born today in 365 BC in Macedonia, Alexander the Great. I have no idea how they even figure out when these people were born. Calendars have changed so many times since then. When I read these every day and I go to these different websites to try and find good history for us to talk about here, sometimes some things that I see and I read, they give me a visceral reaction. And I'm young enough now to still have like anxiety and remember what it's like to be educated. So occasionally I'll wake up in a cold sweat thinking I've forgotten like some chemistry homework or something.
You know what? I still do that.
This
I
morning
still do that.
I was reading, historical things, and I saw a birthday today for a guy named Gregor Mendel, who was a geneticist, discovered the laws of heredity, and all of a sudden it just took me back to biology class my freshman year, because Gregor Mendel's studies eventually influenced a guy named Punnett, who I had to do a bunch of Punnett squares. And Miss Smart, if you're out there listening, I still don't get it. Please help me. Also born today, Carlos Santana in 1947. So we may have to get a little bit of Santana rocking the airwaves here on
Ooh,
halftime.
yes.
Also,
Yeah.
one of my dream
Supernatural
careers,
album.
always wanted to be a pitchman, and the best of the all time is Billy Mays here. 1948, born today. Jesus Shuttlesworth himself, Mr. Ray Allen, born today in 1975.
There we
and
go.
then former wife of one Super Bowl champion Tom Brady, and now apparently a guy that beefs with Logan Paul at Fanatics Fest. Supermodel wife of his previously, Gisele Bundchen, born today. and
Former
Horizon
Victoria's
Kino.
Secret angel,
Yes.
Giselle Bundchen.
Supermodel.
Okay, get it
Supermodel.
right.
National holidays today. National Moon Day, obviously because of the the history. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. If anybody out there is in the doghouse, text us. Tell us why. 877-377-6963. No. Thank God.
Good for you.
But if I was, I would definitely be trying to appeal to my wife, saying, "Hey, today's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Can you let me out?" Good question here, guys.
Pass.
National Fortune Cookie Day. What do y'all do with the cookies? Do you eat them? You throw them away and just read the
You
fortune?
totally. Come on, Colton.
If you don't
I
eat
totally
it, it
eat
doesn't
them.
work.
I eat them. They're delicious. I like
You
them.
totally eat them. You totally read your fortune, and then you always say the ending part after you read the fortune, and then you always say, "Never mind."
I don't know.
Never mind.
May
That's
the
okay.
odds forever be in your favor.
No.
Sandra Oh, one
Oh.
of my favorite actresses, turned a double nickel today. And then everybody from the last regime that was on the Arkansas football coaching staff should watch Omar Epps in the program and carry that football around with you like it's treasure and quit being
That's right.
so lackadaisical with it. Thank you. Omar Epps
I got
turning
you.
a Bill Romanowski and Sandra Oh turning
Yep.
a Lance Briggs or
That's
Darren Brooks.
That's fantastic. Hey, Chris in Fayetteville said my grandma's college roommate dated Neil Armstrong when they were at Purdue.
That's pretty cool, Chris.
Thanks for that fun
She
fact.
also
on this
dated
Monday.
Charlie Chapman as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say a different joke, and I it was off Grandma's Boy. Nick Swartzen says that joke if y'all have seen that, and so I gave you the PG version of it as well.
That is the ultra
So-
PG
so
version. of that
sorry.
one. I haven't seen Grandma's Boy in a long time. Speaking of National Fortune Cookie today, guys, everybody's lucky numbers. Are you ready? Today's lucky numbers: 7, 18, 9, 22, 5, and 67. So
nice.
Those are your lucky numbers.
None of
today.
mine.
My
but
favorite
good for
fortune
them.
cookie. My favorite fortune I've ever gotten was help. I'm stuck in a Chinese fortune cookie factory. Get those a lot. Get those a lot.
Sorry.
Help.
Have you ever gotten one with two?
I have gotten.
I feel
one
like
with
that's.
two.
I feel like that's lucky.
Like a
just in
double
general.
oaked egg.
Yeah. Shout out to Hacker and Harrison, knew exactly what I was talking about in my fortune cookie reference. That's okay. Hey, got a lot going on here at SEC Media Days in Tampa, and our bridge here brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road. Go make sure to check them out as you get ready for football season. As we get ready for football season, we have Will Stein hitting the main stage coming up at 12:30. Also, Josh Heupel later on today going to talk about his Tennessee Volunteers team. Chris Doring spent some time earlier today with Ty and Tommy. We're going to hear from the former Florida wide receiver after the break as well.
The good old summertime is here, and Gelco Outdoors is having a good old summertime sale on all summer clothing. Save up to 50% off on select Ariat, Merlebone, Drake, Habit, Hook, Local Boy, and Wrangler clothing. Check out the best deal in town on Ariat and Wrangler blue jeans. Buy 2 pair, get a 3rd free. Bow hunters, come see us for getting your bow ready. Great deals on Elite, Hoyt, and Matthews bows. Close out the summer with savings at Gelco Outdoors. Remember, work, fish, hunt. That's what we do at Gelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087. 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087 or simply visit TRA.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Our high this afternoon will be into the middle 90s. That heat index right around 105 to 107. Mainly clear near 80 overnight, and then lots of sunshine, close to triple-digit readings on Tuesday with the heat index near 110. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 47 days.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's halftime.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
Said you had very motivational words at halftime.
Oh, intermission.
No, it's halftime. All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. It's a W.
Sports talk that doesn't sound like everyone else.
There's a formula to win here at Arkansas.
Let me see a little bit of heart. And you're talking about toughness. A little bit of toughness, a little bit of heart. Gonna make things feel a whole lot better.
Matt, you're my favorite Arkansas Razorback. Love your show. Matt, you're one of my all-time Razorback heroes. What up, Alyssa? Welcome to the halftime show. It's my favorite.
Thank you.
The Hit That Line show.
It's halftime with Alyssa Orange.
You guys are gonna notice I talk way too much. You're probably gonna have to tell me to be quiet.
Colton Little.
Colton Little.
And Razorback legend Matt Jones.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. This is halftime.
Welcome in halftime. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little with you. Happy to be here on this Monday. I'm in Tampa, Florida, looking at the beautiful ocean, the bay, the palm trees. Not trying to rub it in too much, guys.
Yeah, that's
but it is it's a beautiful Florida day here on a Monday. Though, you know, you would think, I know all of you guys care so much about my hair, that I would have learned by now that the Florida humidity is just going to zap it the second I step out of the hotel. But it's totally fine. I'm going to freaking frizzball.
It doesn't
right
look
now.
frizzy on the stream.
That's
Alyssa.
yeah, thanks to these nice, beautiful headsets that are holding it down and back. You can't see it, but if you were to see it, I'd look like one of those puppies that just got out of the blow dryer. Poof. That's what I look like at the moment. But no complaints here at SEC Media Days. We got to talk and hear from Greg Sankey earlier about the 9-game schedule that the SEC has now intact for all of its conference teams. And now we're going to hear from Chris Doering, former wide receiver at Florida, SEC Network analyst, does a great job covering the SEC. And he was asked earlier today on the Morning Rush about what Arkansas needs to do to be competitive. And this is what he had to say.
Yeah, I think when I think about Arkansas football, I think about physicality. I think the lines of scrimmage have not necessarily. Offensive line was good last year. Defensive line maybe not as good. I think they've got to get back to being more stout on the lines of scrimmage, and certainly Coach Silverfield's background as an offensive line coach should help that. The other thing is, let's be honest, there's starting to be the haves and the have-nots in the SEC with the money that's able to be spent on roster construction. You got to find a way to do things a little bit differently. You don't have the margin for error when it comes to missing on guys that you pay more money to. So, yeah, I think that's important. But the number one thing, I think, for everybody, not just Arkansas in college football, is the importance of the quarterback.
Yeah, the importance of the quarterback, guys, and that still remains a question right now, Matt. They have not declared a starter. You look at a guy like KJ Jackson, who has been in the system, or at least at Arkansas, right, for now going on year 3, and then a guy in A.J. Hill who transferred over with Brian Silverfield coming over. Yeah, so who has the advantage?
That's what. So do you think I can make a case for both kids?
Yeah.
You can make a case from somebody who knows how Coach Silverfield is. He knows the culture, knows what's expected. He's been in the meeting rooms. He understands it. He's familiar with it. And then you can make a case that for the kid that's been at Arkansas. And remember what Coach Pittman said. He said, we're not looking for another quarterback. Our next starting quarterback is here on campus. And I believe it. Watching him get in, I've liked what I've seen. I haven't seen the other kid play. So then it comes down to, well, who do you trust? And just like we were talking about with this soccer world, when you get into big games, a lot of times it's just about not making a mistake. It's not about trying to outplay or outthink the room or do something you're not able to do. It's do the little things the right way and don't make the mistake to hurt us. So which one of these kids is going to be more consistent? I would be willing to suggest that you're probably going to see both of those quarterbacks take 20-plus snaps in the first game of the year. I think you'll see them both play. Now, what happens at Utah, because let's say you start one of those kids against Utah and you're up 21-0 after the second. You're not going to go put the other guy in. Like he's kind of you give this guy a chance. If he takes a hold of it, then it's his job. So it'll be interesting to see what we do.
I've always felt like this could be KJ Jackson's job to lose. And you've got a guy in AJ Hill who's a redshirt freshman, also a 4-star out of Georgia. Who came over with Silverfield. He's got an opportunity.
There's a reason he brought him over.
Exactly. But so, Matt, you've been in this quarterback room, right? And so many people are like, oh, they know it. They're just not going to announce it. You know, that all of these things. In your mind, what's really going on in that quarterback room? This competition, these two guys pushing each other to see who's going to get this starting job. What's going on in that room right now?
That's a good question. I do think 99% of the time that the kids are aware, the coaching staff's aware. I do think you know who the starting. You got to have an idea. I do. Sometimes you don't. My freshman year, I was the 5th quarterback that got to play. So it maybe that's how it goes down. You don't really know. Who's going to redshirt or what you expect, and then the season kind of writes its own narrative. The stories change. You have to adjust and adapt. I think 99% of the time. Yes, Alyssa, I think the players and I think the coaches, I do think they know who the starting quarterback is. They might not say it to us because what's this new rule about you can't say that, then they might jump in the portal. They might leave. You might make them unhappy. This might happen here. You got to kind of coddle them both and bring them both along. And I think there might be some of that going on.
Matt, is there anything like once this decision is made, and I guess it's public, in my opinion, I feel like that a good chunk of the criteria that they're basing this on has nothing to do with what happens between the white lines, right? Because the quarterback is like the most cerebral position that you possibly have to play in all of sports, and I think that's a huge advantage to KJ Jefferson because all that anybody's ever Jackson, excuse me,
yeah, sure. A lot.
KJ Jackson. I think that's an advantage to KJ Jackson because all we've ever heard about KJ is about his process, the way that he prepares and what he does. And I think that with some limited times and limited tools and limited talent around him last year and some cleanup duty, he looked like a guy that seemed to be pretty uber prepared and also at times looked like a guy that had, the tendency to make some mistakes too. But I mean, Matt, a lot of this has to be judged off of what they do in that quarterback meeting room, right? In the classroom and their leadership ability too.
You're right on the ability to lead. You can't get too high, can't get too low. I got a question. It was the quarterback that made that 3rd down run for Memphis against us. Is that the kid he brought over?
That's a different guy.
Okay, because I wonder too. So sometimes you can do this, and so this is what happened with me. So I can just tell you what happened with me my freshman year. I was the 5th quarterback to come in, but they started putting a package in, not necessarily the Wildcat, but kind of before that, it was like. I was the option quarterback. I'm coming in to do a different set of plays. I have a different set of skills like Liam Nelson. It's like you have a different set of skills. And so my question to both you guys is one of these quarterbacks more athletic than the other? Could you see something where you're going to play both guys because one of them's a little bit more physical, one of them's going to run in between the tackles, one of them's a scrambler. They can both pass, but one of them's a little bit better, and it's obvious about this. So maybe you get both quarterbacks for a lot of the time this year.
Yeah, I think these two honestly are just too close to call at the moment. You look at both of them; they're both 6'4". KJ Jackson's 225.
KJ Jackson's he's a 4'7" guy though. We know that he's not. That's why I ask. I don't know this kid from Memphis.
Yeah.
If he's a 4'5" guy, if he's a guy that's going to run and can lower his shoulder, KJ Jackson is not a runner. Is he athletic? Okay. He's athletic, but he's athletic, like a Big Ben was athletic. Big Ben wasn't taking off running 40-yard sprints. Can he take off and get 7 yards, 17 yards? Yes. But what I saw from him, he's not a burner. He's not Taylor Green. He's not running 4-3.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know how much AJ Hill runs either. You kind of look at what he did last year at Memphis as a freshman, mind you, right? He came in and it only says went 6 for 7, 48 yards against Gas. Like, so he really doesn't rush the football much at all. So yeah, I mean, both of these guys kind of, what do they bring to the table? Do you want someone who is a little bit more mobile in that pocket, depending on what this offensive line looks like? So we'll have to see.
That was the part about Doring's quote right there that kind of caught my attention. Obviously, yes, we have to know how important it is that quarterback play, but the trench play that Doring mentioned right there, how the offensive line has been, good sometimes and spotty at other times during the recent, tenure, the recent regime up there, because obviously we got a text here from Jody and Harrison said he didn't want to hear the line from Doring about the offensive line because we just had a ugly breakup with a guy that was supposed to be a specialist at the offensive line. So that's one thing that caught my attention too, because yes, you can have a pretty maybe average offensive line and still do some things pretty good if you're technically sound, but that defensive line that Doring mentioned, there's nobody in the SEC winning games without a absolute stud or 2 or 3 on the defensive line. So I'm really hoping that some of these transfer portal pieces we got from big time Power 4 programs like Sims and Oki from last year, who had an injury, wasn't able to play the majority of the season, as well as Hunter Osborne. Those are some really talented, stout guys in the middle, and I hope they can step up too, because if they can, Doring is right, that'll definitely improve the outlook of this team.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're absolutely right. I also want to see kind of what, Silverfield draws up to these first couple of games, what this team looks like and what there you go. There you go.
Yeah, come on.
Well, Doring talking about Ryan Silverfield, we're going to hear from him after the break. And I know Charlie's on the line being super patient with us, so we're going to get to Charlie as well. But make sure to feed your cravings with the Taco Bell app. It is easy and exclusive. The Taco Bell app was made just for you. Download it now to explore, customize, and start reaping the benefits on repeat. It is truly a world of possibilities. The Taco Bell mobile app. Download the official Taco Bell app, and your taste buds will officially thank you. I might have to do that depending on how many tacos I keep accumulating here for Matt Jones. More halftime after this.
We are live at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum Walker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff, it doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, college at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, you can get $80 off DeWalt Atomic 20-volt brushless impact and driver kits, or $50 off select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Chill, follow the song, it's what we gonna become. I'm down with the wood on my tongue. Need an inch of the blood, my mouth is clear for what I get. I'm dream of juice, how the rebel may come, stop my ride. This way, here's the thing today. Say, play the track, let me correct y'all. You make the
Halftime on 93.7 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Now, here's Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
All right, man, we're moving right along here on halftime. Colton Little, Alyssa Orange, and myself here. Let me tell you what Bath Makeover of Arkansas has going on. It's pretty cool, guys. 60-60-60 sale. That's 60% off installation of a new bathtub or shower. 60-month financing options available as well. Please ask them about their senior and military discounts. $60 Visa gift card with a bathtub or shower purchase and a bonus. Free $50 Walmart gift card with a free in-home estimate. One of the cool things you can do is customize with grab bars, comfortable seating, shower doors. They have fixtures in chrome, brushed nickel, oil rubbed bronze, and black. I mean, whatever you need, they're going to have it. They're an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Lifetime product warranty. That should ease your minds just a little bit. 5-year workmanship warranty as well. Man, go check them out. You don't just have to peruse on the interweb. You can actually get some hands-on and talk to somebody. That's Little Rock, Harrison, and El Dorado, where their showrooms are located. Please give them a call, 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEW-BATH.
I'm all about that. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice.
Shower. So you think about your house, your bathroom, your kitchen, and your living room. And then I guess if you have like a shop area or something, but really like when you think about where you spend a lot of your time, the bedroom, you got to have a good bathroom with a shower and everything.
Of course.
And then, you got to have
need a
den.
bathtub.
You got to have
need
some
a
type of
bathtub with
den.
some
Yeah.
jets. Oh yeah.
You're blocking the bubble jets. Hey, we got a call
That's right.
from Charlie. You want
There we go, Charlie. Let's do it.
Charlie,
Happy
you're on
Monday,
halftime.
Charlie.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Yeah, man, I could go right on down the road, man. Only 30 minutes for me if I need a
Oh,
move back. I'm gonna tell Matt.
You have to give us a
I'm
report.
gonna say Matt. I'm gonna say Matt Jones to me. Y'all do know who that is, right?
They'll
If you
probably
don't,
give you
go-
$60
go
right
him.
away. That's probably what happened.
Look, you guys are talking about, the quarterback position, and I wanted to ask you too, Matt. When you're having a battle like this, which, by the way, listen, competition I've always believed in. I think it brings the best of everyone. And I know you have situations where certain guys, they're the starter, but I think a lot of it does. NIL matters with this too, right, guys? Because I'm thinking of a situation where you guys remember when Quinn Ewers was in college and Manning was still making more NIL money than him, by the way.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure those two guys are probably making around the same. And I wondered too, I don't think it may be a little, Matt, I know you guys were probably really close back in the day in the quarterback locker room. I know it may be competing. I understand all that. But when coaches come up there and say, like, sometimes it always, like, I don't think it's as true as it comes. I'm not saying they're not cool, but it's always funny to me when guys are competing and another guy thinks he should be playing. A coach will be like, well, they like each other. They this. I know it's coach speak, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying these two guys don't like each other. That's not what I'm saying, and that they don't root for each other. But I do think this, if you're someone like AJ, which is his last name is Hill, right?
Yes. Hill.
Alyssa?
Yes.
Okay. Now, say he probably knows that KJ probably was slightly in lead going into the summer. If you're someone like him, Matt, because there's still time, right? And I don't think for any player, like, you should ever – you got to put the work in. Like, that's what this is about. And not saying KJ isn't going to work too, but, if you're someone, maybe you're slightly behind the guy. Maybe – I think it's maybe it's closer than people think. I think it's KJ personally. I just don't think they've announced it. But I could be totally wrong about that. They could be neck and neck, and I just don't know it. And I also think a hard thing to evaluate, too, neither guy is really getting hit yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know you're in a new system, and that's the thing. Now, KJ just went through a system where his head was spinning, so he knows the game inside and out. I don't think that's going to be a problem for him because I know this system itself is going to be simpler than what he just went through because you can't – the Bobby Petrino system is crazy. So I think that'll be okay for KJ. But also getting live reps. So the difference, Matt, you can explain this. Like, practice is one thing, but when you get in the game, someone like you, for instance, Matt, you say you were the fifth guy to play, but when you got on the field, it was beautiful. No, not trying to, toot your horn, Matt, but I'm just saying, man, when you got out there, it was fun to watch, and it was different than I'm sure practice. So that's my point too. That's maybe what's hard to evaluate too when you got two guys battling. Because they need live game reps. So I think that first game is important for that. I think you need to figure it out before Utah. I think you need to know who your guy is and get behind him because it's going to be adversity. And it's about the offense and the defensive line and the guys around them. If they do their job, the quarterback room is going to be fine. That's just the way I feel about it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
It's a tough decision. I'll say this, Charlie. Yes, your feelings get hurt. That's just, but it's the nature of it. And then what you do is you say, okay, well, this is my role now. I'm the backup. Do you know what happens every single year? Every single year at Arkansas football, the backup has to come in and win a game. He might start 3 games in a row. He might just come in against Tennessee for the third and fourth quarter to win a game. You don't know when your number is going to get called. So you stay ready. You don't be a selfish individual player. You understand that it's a common purpose for a team goal. And yes, it hurts whenever somebody beats you out for a starting job. But what you do is you don't sulk. You don't hang your head. You don't go in the corner and cry. You stay ready because I promise you, I promise every single that backup's going to have to come in and do. So stay ready. So then you're ready for whatever happens where you want to be a starter next year. All these coaches talk when you get in the transfer window. Hey, this is a good kid. He keeps his head on his shoulder. He's a great teammate. All that type of stuff matters. So yes, it's going to be. It's not you try to act civil about it, but yes, no, it hurts whenever somebody wins a job and the other person doesn't win a job. It definitely hurts, but you have to stay ready because your number is going to get called. And when you get that opportunity, come in and shine.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, just look at the Tennessee game with
Years
Malachi.
ago,
Yeah, Malachi Singleton coming in and helping Arkansas win that game. So I think that's something that we have seen a lot of. And so I do think, as we've talked about, it's KJ's job to lose, in my opinion. But I do think it's probably closer in that room. And that's why they haven't announced exactly who that starting quarterback is going to be for the Razorbacks, because they, quite frankly, aren't ready to make that call yet. I don't think they're trying to hide anything.
I wonder, Colton and I were talking a little bit on the last commercial break. You kind of, if both guys are real similar and they have the same skill set, then yeah, you got to choose one and you kind of go with it and you start off 0-6, and yeah, we'll put the other guy. And I'm being a little extreme. You don't do as well, then you're going to give the other guy a shot. Now, if they have different skill sets, one of them's your running quarterback, one of them's your passing quarterback. I think back in the last, what's the old adage? And Colton said, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. Well, Florida won a national championship with that, with a Tim Tebow running quarterback and Chris Leak, their throwing quarterback. And then when Chris Leak left, Tebow, and that was kind of the same similar situation I was in. Zach Clark was the passing quarterback. I was a running quarterback, and then it kind of evolves after that. And it becomes in more that you can do. What can you do? How quick can you grasp the offense? As a quarterback, it's more than just knowing the playbook. You got to know everything, man. You got to be aware of down and distance. You got to be aware of how many timeouts you have. You got to be aware of who's healthy right now. Where's my running back game at? Who's my receiver? There's so many things you kind of have to have this checklist about. And then you're saying, hey, you got to learn a new offense as well.
Yeah.
Alyssa, you might have been there whenever Coach Silverfield was introduced that first day and gave his introductory press conference. We were all kind of gathered around there in the media room there under Razorback Stadium, kind of waiting to hear from Coach Silverfield. And all of a sudden, we see KJ and Quincy Rhodes walk in. And we knew that there was about to be an announcement made. And both of those guys, they looked at Coach Silverfield like he had hung the moon. So they immediately bought in. And that's one thing that also helped kind of sell me on KJ is, look, he had a completely different coaching staff. He came here to play for Bobby Petrino. He came here to learn under that tutelage. And he saw an opportunity, yes, to start as an SEC quarterback, but also to continue to be loyal, to stay, to work hard. I mean, he had to have known that Coach Silverfield was also going to be bringing in some goods as well, another quarterback more than likely, and knew that his track record to this point wouldn't guarantee him a starting job. But he's going to continue to work for it. And like Charlie said, I think the most consensus is here, if you ask people that are in tune with the program, that maybe read reports or maybe just watched a handful of games last year, they're going to give the edge to KJ Jackson simply off of recognition alone. But I'm hoping that, like Charlie said, by the time that the Utah game rolls around, that if not him, at least one of those guys has locked that job up. But, to Matt's point, like we talked about earlier, A.J. Hill could be a guy that you need for short yardage situations. He think he's a little bit heavier than KJ. I don't know his numbers off the top of my head, his measurables.
Yeah,
but
235 to 225.
15 pounds. Yeah, 15 pounds or 10 pounds, I guess. So, I mean, if that's worth an extra 2 yards in a goal line situation, that may be where you see an A. Hill. So it's all going to be different. But like kind of Matt said, you're not expecting these guys to go out there and be perfect. It's kind of just, can you execute?
Yeah. Yeah, I think here's the deal. I think a lot needs to be said about KJ and the fact that we are now entering his redshirt sophomore season and he's remained loyal to the Razorback brand. I think that there's something to be said about that. So we'll see, though, what happens. None of us have really seen A.J. Hill much in a game situation, but it'll continue to be interesting as we hit the break here and get ready for this second hour, half hour of halftime here at the 12 o'clock hour. That, by the way, this East Coast time is throwing me off because it's 1:30 here, but it's 12:30 with you guys, and my brain has to remember to subtract an hour. We're going to hear a little bit from...
Hone it in, Alyssa. Just don't hone it in when it comes to 1 o'clock there. It's actually 2 o'clock there.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So...
I know where it's 5 o'clock. It's always 5
Ooh.
o'clock at Flyway Brewing.
Yes, it
So if
is.
you're looking for a great weekday lunch spot, maybe a place to go after dinner at 5 o'clock, that happy hour hits, go to Flyway Brewing. It's a great place to host a lunch meeting, something that actually impresses clients, a great place to relax, and they have a fantastic menu as well. Plenty of space for private dining, and of course, it's not going to be Flyway without the fresh beer. Cold, crisp, and ready when the workday wraps up, and then when it's time for the game as well. They have these awesome big screens in there that have you covered so you won't miss a minute of the action. Great food, fresh beer, all the action at Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. I know you're enjoying it back over there in Florida with the ocean near you and the
Mhm.
salty sea spray.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's fantastic over here. I tell you what. Hey, coming up after this, we talk about Ryan Silverfield being one of the new faces here in the SEC. So is Will Stein at Kentucky. We're going to listen to him as he gets ready to take the podium around 1:30. Going to listen in live to what he has to say about his Kentucky Wildcats as we continue things here at SEC Media Days from Tampa. We'll be right back.
Is a visor just so no one sees how ugly you are?
This is halftime.
Why Arkansas Executive Prep Academy? Our program was developed on 5 main pillars: mastery learning, teacher work environment, physical and mental wellness, always ready and future fluent, and elite academics. The Arkansas Executive Prep Academy provides the flexibility and schedule that families need. To register or apply, contact us at 501-215-3209. The Arkansas Executive Prep Academy will open on August the 12th for our first day of school. Our open house will be on August 6th from 4 to 7 p.m. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Arkansas Executive Prep Academy is a tuition-free public charter school. This ad was 100% funded by the $2 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education Charter School Programs awarded to Arkansas Executive Prep Academy. Find us at 501 North Main in Harrison.
This is halftime.
There's not a backup in the country that can throw a ball like that.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
When I'm in the mood for something sweet and hot, do I wait hoping my husband walks in dressed in tight tennis shorts and a dozen roses? No. I hit Hardee's for the new made-from-scratch hot honey biscuit. That crispy chicken, that hot honey, and that sweet prize. Just $3.99 for a limited time. Or that hand-breaded hot honey chicken sandwich with crispy bacon and melted Swiss on a brioche bun. Hardee's new honey menu. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Not valid for use within a combo or in combination with any other offer or discount.
Hey, Fort Smith, have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th. The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Finally, I figured out what it took a long, long time. Now there's a ton about me because I'm trying. There's still time. Down my road, can't turn, walk away. Hard to say what it is I see when you're on the lips. I want to be with you. Words can't say it, something to do, something to talk to you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Alyssa Orange, Colton Little, and Razorback legend Matt Jones. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Now let's get back to Halftime with Arkansas football legend Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
Oh, Matt, just blessing my Monday with some Sister Hazel. Gosh, oh, my day just exponentially got better, which I don't know how it can because I can just look out the window and look at palm trees. But you guys do that. We're here at SEC Media Days in Tampa, and we talked about Ryan Silverfield being a new coach here in the SEC, and he's one of 4, right? So you have him here at Arkansas, Will Stein at Kentucky, Alex Skolish at Auburn, John Summerall over at Florida. Will Stein right now with the Wildcats, seeing what they can do in the SEC in his first season. We're going to go to the main stage. We've got sound piping up live, so I'm going to turn this up and listen in here to what Will Stein has to say.
Rodriguez. Willie's from Covington Catholic in Northern Kentucky. I'm really excited about his growth over the last 6-7 months. This guy's an elite player. I think he's got the ability to be one of the best tight ends in the country. He was one of the players from last year's roster that we had to retain. It was a no-brainer. We could not afford to lose him. He can do it all. He'll be a feature player in our system. And off the field, he's committed to community service. He's a frequent visitor to Golisano Children's Hospital, UK, where he meets with kids in need, families in need of sick children. Fantastic person and player, and has an extremely bright future. Secondly, we brought junior quarterback Kenny Minchie. Kenny's from just outside Nashville in Hendersonville, Tennessee, went to Pope John Paul High School, came to us from 3 years at Notre Dame. I've been really impressed with Kenny since he got here. He's somebody that feels like he's been in our system for a long time. He's got elite processing skills, a high football IQ. He's very accurate, and he has the athletic ability to make plays with his feet. He's also a natural leader. He's got great poise, great communication skill. This will be his first starting job. He knows that. I know that. You all know that. But I know he's going to be ready because of how he prepares in the classroom and on the field. Lastly, but not least, senior safety Ty Bryant. Ty's a hometown kid right from Lexington, Kentucky. Went to Frederick Douglass High School. Was second team All-SEC last season. Led the league with 4 picks while also making the Dean's List. He was another player from last year's team I had to keep. Do everything I can to keep Ty Bryant. He represents Kentucky football to the fullest. It is in his DNA. He's a natural leader, shows up every day, ready to work. He's almost like a coach on the field for us. It's kind of funny. Fun fact, our dads played together at Kentucky. So I don't know if that's how young I am or if that's how old maybe Ty's dad is. I don't really know. But Cisco, love him, and glad that his son plays at Kentucky as well. But Ty's got a bright football future, and when he's done with football, which hopefully he has a long career in the NFL, I'm sure he'll be out there with Media Row working in media. But I'm very excited about this team. We've laid a really strong foundation, and our players have embraced the work. The DNA that we've built within Kentucky football centers around connection. As a coaching staff, the first thing that we had to do, was develop a real connection with these players. A connected team is a dangerous team. They typically play the longest, the hardest, or hardest, the longest. Our guys needed to get to know each other. They had to. They needed to know that their coaches had real investment in them as people. They needed to feel a coaching staff that actually likes coaching with each other. That's huge. And they needed to feel connection to Big Blue Nation, to our fans, and see how passionate they are. I really believe we built a strong connection up to this point, and we will continue to grow together throughout the season.
All right, there is Will Stein, the new head coach at Kentucky, introducing the guys that he brought with him, but also talking about, culture, talking about connectivity and what it looks like inside his locker room. But really, that's what every coach says, right? Talking about that unification and how guys play for one another. So getting your feedback on that, guys, that's very indicative of what coaches are going to say here at SEC Media Days in Tampa this week. That's what Ryan Silverfield's going to get up there and say and talk about, and what it was like to take over a team. And guys, I like that he talked about guys he had to retain. And you mentioned it earlier, Colton, looking at KJ Jackson and Quincy Rhodes Jr., who will be here on Thursday. Those were two guys that I think he had to keep. Silverfield had to keep them in Razorback uniforms.
Yeah, retention is huge, and obviously you want to keep the star guys that you have on your team. So keeping Quincy Rhodes in check, a guy like Caden Kittler as well, some of those guys that were able to stay with him, that's big, and that's what I think Coach Silverfield was really trying to do. But look, I've already seen lots of pundits out there that have already picked Will Stein in Kentucky to finish above Arkansas here in the SEC. And I want you to know, I'm Colton Little. I work for ESPN Arkansas. And anybody that puts Will Stein or Kentucky above Arkansas as final standings in the SEC is horrible at their job. It's a terrible take. Because this guy's a first-year coach in the SEC, never been a head coach before at a basketball school. They're not putting any money into football. And I don't know it for a fact, but I can tell you that there's almost no chance they're investing anything into Will Stein when they have a mess of a program at the basketball level with Mark Pope going on over there. It's not to their standard, and I just don't think that Kentucky is set up any better than Arkansas to do great at football. They may have a better schedule, but that makes no sense to me. Silverfield's coached 75 games as a head coach. There is no reason that anybody that's not coached a single game as a head coach should be ranked above him. I don't care what you do calling plays at Oregon. Just my opinion.
I like that hot take, Colton.
It's not that hot of a take. I would figure
I don't think it is.
People that do their research, understand the nature of football sometimes, would probably give a little bit of leniency to a guy that's already coached 75 games.
What's what I'm gathering a little bit, what's the better job? Who without everything, take everything away, but if you were to say you can be the head coach of Kentucky football or you can be the head coach of Arkansas football, are they kind of similar? You put him in there with Vanderbilt in South Carolina, or do you think one of the jobs is just that much better than the other one?
It's interesting because you talk about money for basketball. I think Arkansas is right there too, where they've invested a ton of money in basketball because they have John Calipari, and we've seen what that's done. I mean, Kentucky's going to continue to pour into that basketball program because they're a blue blood. That's what they do. But I think Arkansas is investing more money on the football end, like Colton's saying, than Kentucky is on the football end. And I think that, with all due respect, and I like Mark Stoops. I did. He got into the league at Kentucky when Brett Bielema got here and was there, tried to do some stuff with Kentucky. He was the defensive coordinator at Florida State when I was there with Jimbo Fisher for a little bit. But he could do as much as Kentucky allowed him to do. Like, he maxed out Kentucky football, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a ceiling there, and I mean, look, they've had some better, more successful recently. Maybe years than Arkansas.
I'm gonna go back to this. Really good friend of mine, worked with him in Abilene, Texas. Hal Mummy. Hal Mummy has told me it's a basketball school, and they're only going to give you so much, and you're only going to be able to do so much with what you got. And that was pre-NIL era.
That was Tim Couch and Craig Yeast. Don't act like I don't remember who Craig Yeast was. I went to Hal Mummy's football camp as a sophomore.
Did you?
When I was, man.
Me and Hal have been to, he's a buddy of mine. He's a big Jimmy Buffett fan like me. We've been to some Jimmy Buffett concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. Can you imagine a Jimmy Buffett concert with Hal Mummy?
That'd be fun.
I'm all for it.
It's so fun.
Why don't we have that at SEC Media Days?
I know. We're in Florida. Well, Jimmy's
no
gone.
We get a hologram.
But the Coral Reefers still play around. I know we've completely digressed here, but yeah, I mean, that's what Hal said. All you're gonna do is max out football, and then someone else will come in and do it again, and they'll max out, and then someone else will come in and do it again, and then they'll max out.
I'm a firm believer that when it comes to this, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you have to get all the money first, or do you have to get a good coach? The answer is always going to be a coach. I think Indiana proved that. Now, obviously, they're a sleeping giant with tons and tons and tons of people that are willing to back them financially and boost those coffers up. But when it comes down to what comes first for a team to be successful, these teams like Kentucky, these teams like Arkansas and Vanderbilt and South Carolina, that for the most part have been cellar dwellers in the SEC as long as they've been there, it takes a coach. It takes a coach. And so I've seen all these people that are consistently ranking Arkansas at the bottom. It makes no sense to me when Ryan Silverfield's proven that he's outcoached guys that are now at Auburn, guys that are now at Florida. It doesn't make any sense to me. And they still give preferential treatment to even a guy like Will Stein, who's never been a head coach in his life. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not trying to sit up here and clamor and say, hey, we're picked 16th. We ought to be 15th, by God. But, I mean, come on. Like, just to me, I think it's lazy. I think it's just very, very, I don't know much about Arkansas. I really don't care, so I'm not going to do any research. 16 sounds good to me. Silverfield, blah. Memphis, blah. It's just
okay.
Dumb.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. How about this? How about you cue up that Chris Doering soundbite of him talking about Ryan Silverfield?
I knew the least about Coach Silverfield before, going out to Fayetteville. We went to his house. He's got renovations going on. He's got his twin daughters running around. I think the best thing that he can do is do exactly what he did with us, and that's just be authentic and show his personality. I mean, this is a guy that grew up down the road from here in Jacksonville, and you look at the different stops along the way. He loves ball. Coached at a high school that went winless. They talked about living under a gymnasium at a D3 school. He loves ball. He's been at every level. Coached at the National Football League level. Just be authentic about kind of what this opportunity to coach an iconic program like Arkansas is, and the plan that you have. He's done a good job of going around the state and kind of endearing himself to the fan base and getting the talent in Arkansas to think about staying in the state. And that was something that was kind of going the other way. So I think just being himself and being, open about who he is and what he plans to try to build there in Fayetteville.
I only take exception with one thing that Chris Doering said right there, that he's endeared himself to the entire state. The only way to endear yourself to the entire state is Arkansas 21, Texas 14. Arkansas 22, LSU 20. Arkansas 25, Arkansas 26 or whatever the score may be, Georgia less than that. That's how you endear yourself to everybody in this state. But he's right. He's done a lot of good things, nothing negative so far. I really want to believe in him. I shook this man's hand. I looked in his eye. I think he's going to do some good things, and I hope that he has the support to do it. And honestly, I think he's a better coach than every other first-year coach right now in the SEC.
Well, we know that. If anything, if Colton's made any kind of point, your final slice better be today. Ryan Silverfield is a better first-year head coach than any other coach. What did you think, Matt, of those comments by Chris Doering?
I think the comments are I think that's just normal fodder. I don't think that I don't read too much into it. I think there's some validity to it. I'm not saying he's lying to you, but I just think that's the normal. That's just kind of how the comments go, because that's what you do. I don't care. I care about when we get here to September 12th. When we start playing. Just don't embarrass us when you go do all this stuff. Just kind of like we're not really looking for anything to put on the bulletin board. Just kind of be a class act, be a professional, and then let's get to work.
That's what he's done. He's done all of those things up to this point right now here on July 20th in the middle of talking season and SEC Media Days. Hey, talking about being a professional when it comes to banking, you deserve a pleasant and productive experience, one that puts you first, and that is exactly what you'll find at Sterling Bank, your community bank right here in Northwest Arkansas. With top-notch customer service, every transaction feels personal because they're not just your bankers, guys. They're your friends and your neighbors. Sterling Bank is deeply committed to the people, businesses, and organizations that make Northwest Arkansas thrive, and their passion for growth and progress fuels everything they do. If you're looking for local friendly banking that also fits your needs, visit Sterling Bank in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville, or learn more at stirbank.com.
Heard a little chatter coming out of their dugout early, but it slowed down a little bit.
This is halftime.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling midsize SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
It's hay time with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers, like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers known for their durability and beautiful cut. Kubota hay rakes and, of course, the BB Series Kubota round baler. Couple it with Kubota's M Series cab tractor with 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota, today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbIrdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
You were standing underneath the sweet wet ground, yet lovers. Dragons were small, bumblebees were stinging, soon to the crazy. Each drink can be merry, for tomorrow and I. Each drink can be merry.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Welcome back to halftime here as we wrap up hour 2. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little with you. Little Dave Matthews to make you feel good on this Monday as well. And you're going to talk about feel good. We always like to bring something that we saw good over the weekend. Colton, since you're on vacation, we'll let you go first, my guy.
Saw a handful of things. I'll try and keep it brief right here. I did see that a guy named Josh Kerr broke the world record for the mile
How cool
recently.
is that?
It's under 4 minutes, which to me is just absolutely insane. 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Insane.
That is superhuman level stuff to be able to do that type of stuff. So that's one of the best things I saw over the weekend. And also Ryan Fox with a fantastic finish to win the Open, a guy that had never reached that level of success before in his career. A really solid finish and lots of drama during the Open that I really just like to sink my teeth into.
Do either one of you guys think that you could run 2 laps? So we all know that 4 laps is a mile, 3:42 is what you just said. Do any of y'all think? I don't think I can. Do y'all think y'all could run 2 laps in 3 minutes and 42 seconds?
Matt, I can't run a lap.
I've got tired thinking about it. I was like, oh my, I mean,
No.
1 lap, I'm going to be like, oh.
I couldn't run a lap. Oh, no. See, that was not my
pretty
sport.
cool,
My
though.
sister was the cross-country runner, not me.
My
No,
sister
no,
did
no,
that
no.
too. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm built like a guy that would tell you yes with authority,
But
but
you
there's
were
no
a runner,
shot. There's no
and you
shot.
were a runner.
No, there's no shot I could do that. First of all, I just get bored. I'm just running circles. I'm good. That's why I didn't like to do track.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that and I wasn't going
Fair
to be
enough.
any good at it. Also
Gosh
happened during
dang.
baseball season.
Yeah. Matt, what about you?
What is the question? I can't
What?
do that. That's for sure.
No.
We're talking about our weekend.
Yes.
Well,
the best thing you saw over the
World
weekend.
Cup was the best thing I saw all weekend.
Okay.
The third place game to the finals, just everything about it. I absolutely love soccer. I do.
Sure.
It's amazing. The passion, the energy, the drama. That was the most lopsided 1-0 game in soccer that I've ever seen. It was like 16 shots on goal to 0 for the first 90 minutes. It was really one-way traffic, but that's the beauty of soccer. Even down a man in extra time, they had a couple chances to tie that up. Smash and grab, no question about it. I thought it was beautiful, and it's a shame we have to wait 4 more years before we get another one.
Speaking of beautiful, my best thing I saw over the weekend, guys, the ocean.
Oh, God.
Not only is it beautiful and calming, it's also powerful and dangerous. And there's just something about the ocean that absolutely sits right with my soul. So that's the best thing I saw over the weekend. And my best friend from college. It was good to catch up with her, too, who lives here in Tampa. Got to hang out with her. So those are my answers as we wrap up hour number 2. Get ready here for our third and final hour of halftime. Much more SEC football talk as we got Josh Heupel on the microphone coming up in the next hour and so much more here live from Radio Row at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, we've got the supplies to keep things running smoothly. Stop by C2 Supply, 602N, Broadway in Poteau, or give us a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let us see to your supply needs.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of, well, everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
As America celebrates 250 years of hard work and innovation, WT Equipment is proud to carry American-built Hustler turf mowers. During the Hustler Pro Sales event, commercial customers can take advantage of some of the best pricing of the year on qualifying Hustler Zero turns. Whether you're replacing one mower or growing your fleet, now is the time to save. But don't wait. The Pro Sales event ends July 31st. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location or visit WTEquip.com today.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Our high this afternoon will be into the middle 90s. That heat index right around 105 to 107. Mainly clear near 80 overnight, and then lots of sunshine, close to triple-digit readings on Tuesday with the heat index near 110. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 47 days.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's halftime.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitonline.com.
Said you had very motivational words at halftime.
Oh, intermission. No, it's halftime.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people need a W tonight?
Sports talk that doesn't sound like everyone else.
There's a formula to win here at Arkansas.
Let me see a little bit of heart. And you're talking about toughness. A little bit of toughness, a little bit of heart. Gonna make things feel a whole lot better.
Matt, you're my favorite Arkansas Razorback. Love your show. Matt, you're one of my all-time Razorback heroes. What up, Alyssa? Welcome to the halftime show. It's my favorite.
Thank you.
The Hit That Line show.
It's halftime with Alyssa Orange.
You guys are gonna notice I talk way too much. You're probably gonna have to tell me to be quiet.
Colton Little.
Colton Little.
And Razorback legend Matt Jones.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. This is halftime.
Welcome into hour 3 here at halftime. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little with you. I am in SEC Media Days. It has been a fun one here. Day 1 in Tampa, Florida, as we've gotten to hear from Greg Sankey, some head coaches. Josh Heupel's going to join us on the main stage. We get to tap into him a little bit later in the hour, but we've talked some football, guys. I want to shift gears a little bit to some basketball news. We mentioned at the top of the show that Arkansas announcing they're going to play Indiana at Madison Square Garden as part of the Bad Boy Mower Series in New York. So going back to New York City to play in Madison Square Garden. That first game that they played over there was really, really cool. So excited to see them do it again. They talked about John Calipari. We talked about the John Calipari effect, being able to put Arkansas in conversations when they're putting these schedules together on why the Razorbacks should have this kind of national attention. And I love everything about it. He has played Indiana 5 times in his career, all at Kentucky. He's 3-2 against the Hoosiers, but that's a big-time game for Arkansas. Even though Indiana basketball might not be the end of Indiana basketball, a lot of people remember. I think it's big for Arkansas to just have these stages in the non-conference to continue to put the brand out there.
So cool. You think about being a student and a college athlete. I mean, think about if you're a sophomore up there, Alyssa, and you're just a student and you like basketball and you know this is good. You can make a trip of, like, hey, let's go to the Mecca and go watch where the Knickerbockers just won the championship. Let's go where they all the things that go into that. I think is pretty cool to be an Arkansas fan right now, to be a student up there. And I'll take this a totally different way, but Deion Sanders goes to Colorado, their enrollment goes up 800% over a couple weeks. Same thing with Coach Cal. You don't think that having Coach Cal here and having so much success at basketball, having Acuff come in, making runs in the tournament, you don't think that doesn't help get enrollment? 100% that helps get enrollment. Enthusiasm to go up there and watch them and support them play. I think it's pretty cool.
They don't have the full basketball schedule out yet right now. Obviously, they're going to the Bahamas here coming up at the end of the month. But think about this. This game with Indiana on November 17th at Madison Square Garden in New York. Then they go to Detroit, play Michigan State on Thanksgiving. Then they're going to go to Chapel Hill on the 1st and play North Carolina. And then they go to Phoenix and play Arizona on the 19th. Like, what kind of trip would that be? It's almost like being one of those groupies where you just bounce around with the men's basketball team and you go to all of these non-conference games.
You'd be like Zoe Deschanel and Almost Famous. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You think they'd pay for that? Like halftime on the road? I mean, we're trying to get them to do halftime overseas in a few years, right, Matt? Like.
Well, I think if we, I have a problem with asking for things. I just kind of do things, then you ask for forgiveness later. So to actually ask for something. I don't know. Does that mean I have to go in public and like talk to people? Then I'm like, so we have to see. Yeah.
Like, but we can't get you on a flight to New York and go to Madison Square Garden.
I'm in. I'm all in with you. Let's do
All right.
it. I love it. I love that idea.
Yeah. Y'all bring me a Knicks souvenir back, please.
No,
bring you
you'd be
a
too
Spike Lee
obnoxious.
hat back signed by
Please,
Spike
please,
Lee. I
please.
got you, bro. I got you.
I will say though, when you mention all those teams and those names again, Alyssa, I'm just kind of thinking about it, and those are obviously, like you said, marquee matchups, but also what a great. This is an overused phrase. What a great litmus test for this young team here at Arkansas, because you're playing against the likes of blue bloods like that. They're going to have rosters full of guys also that are top recruits that have plenty of NBA draft, stock that is just growing every single game. So this is going to be really, really good. Same thing that we've said every year since Coach Cal has been here. These early season matchups, while they may not tell us everything about our team, it's definitely going to show us just exactly how good these guys can be when it comes down to playing games in the tournament against teams like that.
Well, and the thing too that I like, because everything's going to evolve. Who you are in November is not who you're going to be in April. That's true, but you learn from it. You get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You kind of get the pageantry, is what I'm saying. Like instead of just playing home games, you kind of get a little bit out of everything to see, because once you get to the tournament, you just talked about it with the World Cup. You have the pomp and circumstance and all the things that extra long halftime, extra media stuff you have to do. When you go do something like that, same thing in the tournament, because we're all creatures of habit, and you get into your routine, you get into what you're doing. So anytime you can make the players, what's the old saying? You have to be comfortable with uncomfortability. That's what you're trying to do right there. You're getting out of your comfort zone, and you have to be like, that's okay. We're all doing it together.
That's right. You look at this too, and just these opponents overall with Arkansas. You talk about Indiana just not being the Indiana basketball that most people have grown up watching. But that's a blue blood kind of team that you're playing, a Michigan State team that beat you a season ago, North Carolina, and everyone remembers the fun battles over the years with North Carolina, the couple times in the NCAA tournament, even though
not very fun, but
but they were exciting. Arkansas
they were.
having an opportunity to knock off North Carolina, in March Madness or what have you. I remember those fondly over the last couple early years that I was in Fayetteville. And then you look at an Arizona team that just knocked you out of the NCAA tournament. I mean, this is such a fun thing to sit here and be like, those are games that Arkansas will play in the fall, just in a 2-month span. It's going to be really exciting.
Well, you learn from it. It gives you confidence too. Either way, I think we want to win. I'm not saying that, but going to Michigan State last year in East Lansing and looking that they were like 81-4 in their last 85 games or something, as far as what they were doing on their home schedule, in the way we played and had a chance. How does that not give you confidence? You would think that gives you a little confidence, getting out of your comfort zone, going to East. They don't lose there in Spartanville, Michigan. So it's the fact that you go up there and you gave it a shot, and you really did. I think that bodes well, and I think Coach Cal knows. I think he's the ultimate player coach in the game of basketball right now. I like Arizona's coach too. I know you just brought him up. There's other coaches that I like, but Coach Cal understands that we can get these players to do things that they didn't even think they were capable of, and then they make it the normal. And that's what he's doing, and I like the way he goes about it.
Yeah, and he's bringing that kind of attention to Arkansas. Speaking of attention, Arkansas guard commit Davion Thompson reclassifying for the 2027 recruiting class. So he's going to join the team this year. Reclassifying, we've seen that conversation a lot about these guys who are deciding to come in early.
Though?
He can't. No, he can play.
How can you be 2027 and play?
I'm sorry,
though?
no, he's the class of 2027. He's reclassifying
Oh,
to be on
okay.
the roster.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry if I kind of stumbled
No,
through
it's
those
just,
words.
that wasn't listening the right way.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But yeah, so he's gonna be able to come in. 6'2", 185. The number 5 overall point guard in that class. It's another guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna play much.
This is your
Yeah.
backup point guard. Yeah.
So, okay, well, here we go. There's that conversation. We had this last week when you were out, Colton, about, you look at a guy like Hank Hendricks who reclassified out of Fayetteville and is now in that quarterback room, not going to play, right? No. This kid, how much are you really gonna play if you're kind of sitting there as a guard? Is it fundamentally better to be playing high school ball right now than come to college and not play?
Well, that's such a good question, and I think we could take a 3-hour show and do that. I'd go, but here's what I'd say. I watched Isaiah Seeley play in a couple, and I thought Coach Cal was brilliant when he played Isaiah Seeley in a couple games, which were lower level competition. Isaiah Seeley could have started for 6 teams in the SEC last year, but he played at Arkansas and was the 9th man on the bench. Is he gonna actually be in that 7-8 man rotation this year?
He could be.
That's what we don't know. But but there's guys, and that's just his individual case. I'm saying there's a lot of guys like that. So is this guy like that? Is it where okay? So do you just need one season to get in that group, or did you kind of jump the gun? Because if you need more than I'm sorry, I'm going a long way to answer this question.
No.
But
please.
if you need more than one season based on not an injury, then it's the wrong decision. If it takes you more than one season to crack that top 8, then you should have stayed where you're getting playing time, where you're learning your fundamentals, where you're learning scenarios, you're learning situational basketball. And if you can't play, then don't do it. So, but that's hard to understand and to take right advice. There's a lot of other things that go into that.
Coach Cal's never going to have a really deep bench, I don't think, anymore. I think that you're going to have your 8-9 guys that are out there whenever it gets down to the thick of the season. And am I anticipating to see Davion Thompson be a part of that, that 8-9 group? Honestly, no, not really. Not just because of the fact that he reclassified, but because I think that Coach Cal is going to have a really stalwart point guard in Jordan Smith Jr., and they'll be able to shuffle those things around a little bit. But I'm going to take the opposite approach here. I think this is a good thing to come in early, especially when you're going to a place like Arkansas where they're just, now that Cal's here, and even since Musselman's been here, churning out draft picks every single year, top-notch facilities. You're learning and you're getting experience at a level that I think, while yes, may not be as enjoyable in the moment because you're not the one with the stats padded up on the sheet, you're getting so much more valuable experience than you are against, beating a team across town that you've beaten 3 times already when you were in high school by 40. But that's just my opinion. Do I think Davion Thompson's going to come in here and immediately be some game breaker and all of a sudden, find his way into the starting lineup have a legitimate chance to really compete for minutes here at Arkansas? Not this year. But it's a really hard thing to pass up the opportunity to come to Arkansas, make money, learn under Coach Cal, and be on a really good team no matter what. So I think it's the right choice. And I like we've said, now that there's another marquee matchup happening this fall for Arkansas basketball, I really can't wait to see what this team can do. And all those little tidbits that we're going to get from the Bahamas are just not going to be nearly enough.
Man, wouldn't it be nice to be in the Bahamas here in a few weeks? But that's okay. It's going to be a fun one. As we mentioned, Arkansas getting that matchup with Indiana on the schedule for November 17th at Madison Square Garden. If you want to go, well, you also got to look good. And if your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is exactly what you're looking for, only at Rhoback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies, polos, anything you need, but they're selling out fast. Just go to Rhoback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Rhoback.com, RHOBACK.com. RobackRaceRack.com and use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. That is RUSH26 for 20% off. Roback, where action meets comfort. More from SEC Media Days after this.
We are live at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum Walker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff, it doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with. I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain.
On tonight in somebody's bed, she gone and dyed her hair red. She only went and did what she did, 'cause he would drive her home then. There's lipstick on her new dress, she hadn't even paid yet. But it doesn't matter where the money went, it wasn't how she paid her rent.
Enjoy the music you hear on halftime. Of course you do. Our halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Don't miss Bath Makeover of Arkansas's July through August 60-60-60 sale. Right now, get 60% off installation on a new bathtub or shower. Ask about 60-month financing options plus senior and military discount. You'll also receive a $60 Visa gift card with your bathtub, shower, or purchase. And here's a bonus. Call now to schedule your free in-home estimate and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH today. That's 1-800-NEW-BATH for Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Now, let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Thalissa Orange.
Welcome back here to halftime. I am live from SEC Media Days at Radio Row in Tampa, Florida, and our coverage of SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum-Walker Stadium, the largest and best Razorback shop out there. And so go see them, get hooked up for everything you need for the upcoming football season. And speaking of the upcoming football season, that is what we are here to talk about at SEC Media Days. All 16 coaches going to come through, talk with the media. They're bringing players with them. Arkansas's day, not till Thursday, guys. So we've got some time to wait, but we have already heard from Brett Venables, Oklahoma, John Mateer walking around, which I think, you look at the quarterbacks in the league, and I think that John Mateer's got a really good case to prove why he's one of the best in the SEC. You obviously got Arch Manning at Texas as well, Missouri making their rounds, Tennessee making their rounds, as is Kentucky. So it's been a fun morning for day one. But it's going to get spicy. I got to tell you, when I looked at the schedule, guys, Arkansas will do the rotation. They do 2 teams at a time with LSU. And so Arkansas is going to be walking around as LSU's walking around, which I'm bummed about because I kind of want to see what LSU's got to say. I mean, Lane Kiffin at LSU is going to be a big talking point here. And I don't want to get, my ears always perk up a little bit, and I'm like, okay, what is Lane Kiffin gonna say now? So a little bummed that that's how the schedule worked out this year.
Well, that's our last game of the year. Since I forgot that they were on the schedule last week, Colton was gone. But that is, I like it, to be honest with you. I'm a reluctant star, like to do things in the shadows. Like I don't want the spotlight. I love the fact that all eyes are going to be on pretty, beautiful, best thing ever, Lane Kiffin with LSU. Nobody cares about the 16th place Arkansas Razor. I love it.
You do.
Slip in, slip out, and let's get to work. It's because it's talking season. It's not, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's go look at the purple and gold and go look at the shiny.
It is.
We're going to come back and we're going to get to work, and you better be ready the last game of the year because things change. Texas and LSU are our last 2 games of the year, right? Yes. One of those teams will not be in the college football playoff. Ooh. So something, momentum, how you're going, what's going, things that are happening. Maybe that game doesn't mean the same thing as we think it's going to mean right now. And maybe either one of those, maybe we're sitting on 5 wins when we get to the last 2 games of the year, and that's what we need. So who does it matter to a little bit more? We just saw a 3rd-place game in the World Cup. You know who it mattered to a lot more? England. Mm-hmm. That's the best finish they've had since 1966. If that game was for the championship, France would have beat England. But everything's a little bit situational. Let everybody go gawk. Let everybody go ooh, goo, goo, gaga to Lane Kiffin. Let's just keep doing our work and get ready for September 12th.
And Matt, to your point as well, Coach Sarkisian's also going to be there on that day too. So even more people to clamor after, Texas and LSU, 2 darlings. And then,
nobody cares about Arkansas.
And then sandwiched in between Texas and LSU is Arkansas and Mississippi State. So you're absolutely right on that.
Oh man,
Did you get
that's
a chance?
Gonna be fun.
You get a chance to listen to Brent Venables today at all, Alyssa?
You know, I did not. No, we were getting ready. Did you? What did he say?
No, I didn't get a chance yet, but I was very interested about doing that because that's a very interesting case to me. And you mentioned John Mateer, who I think is probably one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC right now, just in terms of pure tools. Seen a lot of things that I like from him at the quarterback position. But Oklahoma, since Brent Venables has been there, has been so topsy-turvy. Okay, they've been 6-7, 10-3, 6-7, and 10-3. Which to me is so bizarre. So I'm really interested to see if anybody asked Venables, about that inconsistency and how maybe he planned to fix that and remedy that and maybe put together, back-to-back winning seasons here for the first time in his tenure in Norman, because he also has 4 straight bowl losses as well, to his credit. So there's probably a lot of fans in Norman that are going to be hanging on every single word that Venables said today.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I think a lot of people here covering Oklahoma talked a lot about that amongst themselves as media members. Just what is it going to look like for Brent Venables as he's sitting here now at Oklahoma and what he wants to do? How can you get that kind of consistency? And, obviously Eli Drinkowitz on the microphone too. And I tell you, I got to say, Drink is always the most entertaining guy since he's gotten to the league. He likes to get up here. He likes to crack jokes. He likes to have a good time. And he wins everybody over every single year that he is here. And Arkansas fans might not want to hear that because they're a little bitter because they can't beat Missouri. But you got to give Drink his flowers. He's been able to build something up there at Missouri.
Well, you know what he's done? He's had one of the best running backs in the conference the last 5 years. He's instilled some toughness in there. Like, you go down and look at what you're supposed to do, and it's not what Arkansas has been doing.
It's not luck. Yeah, he's doing it for real.
Exactly, and that's what I'm telling. As Arkansas, there's no excuse. We're in the same vein as South Carolina. We're in the same vein as Kentucky. We're in the same vein as Missouri. You're talking about what is our potential. There's no reason that they should just be wiping the floor with you all the time. Get back to running the football. Get back to being tough and physical. Get back to winning your in-state recruiting battle. It's not that hard of a formula to figure out.
No, I don't think so at all. Hey, Colton, I know that Sankey talked about the college football playoff expansion, and you mentioned, one of those teams not going to be in the college football playoffs. If the SEC and the Big Ten had their way right now, it's going to get expanded. That's what they want to do. And so I want to play this clip and get Matt's thoughts on it.
Over the past year, there's been considerable discussion about the format of the college football playoff. In fact, if I'm honest, I'd suggest that since the college football playoff was created, there's been considerable discussion about the future format of the college football playoff. That helps you fill space, right? Those conversations are important, but our approach has remained consistent. We're not necessarily interested in finding the easiest path. We are focused on finding the right path for college football. Yes.
There it is. It's funny. Every time I hear Greg Sankey speak, it feels more and more scripted. Unless, I don't know,
That's what I was gonna say.
Authentic is the word that our friend used earlier.
Well, just because you say it doesn't mean I believe you and that you're saying that. Just because you get up there and say words doesn't, come on, man. Actions have to matter as well. I just don't believe a lot of the things they say. You can't tell me that you really care about the student part of the student athlete. They don't.
It's very funny how he talks about how we're not looking for the easiest solution. We're looking for the best solution.
That I can make the most money on.
Which, when you hear it that way, when it comes off to the ears, it sounds very, very nice. It sounds exactly like you said, incredibly rehearsed, maybe a little bit wooden, if you want to put it that way. But at the same time, I get what he's trying to say, is they're trying to find something that they think also works for everybody as well. But, Matt, you're 100% correct. The SEC is looking out for numero uno, and that's all they can possibly think about. And I, when you have to give these speeches up there, yes, the first 20 minutes are always going to be a straight monologue. And Greg Sankey has got enough. He's about as motivational and inspiring vocally as, I don't even know, just a guy trying to tell you to make a sandwich. It's just, it's not a lot. But it's very funny to say that we're trying to find not the easiest solution, but the best solution. I don't know what to say because the college football playoff and all of its expansion has not been the best solution by far. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't think that expansion really helps anybody in college football. And quite frankly, when you say we want the right solution for college football, it's what's the right solution for the SEC and what's the right solution for the Big Ten, and how can we phrase it to make it look like it's inclusive and it's good for everybody when, quite frankly, I mean, they have an agenda. Everyone knows that. They want more SEC teams in there. They want more Big Ten teams in there as well. I wasn't laughing at you, by the way, when I was giggling, Colton, because no, here's the deal, Roman Harper. So we're right here outside the ESPN green room. So right across the hall, Roman Harper rolls up in here with a fanny pack, sunglasses,
That's the Alabama safety,
a golf,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
a golf club, and a cigar.
That's one of the coolest
He is
things
standing.
around.
He's
That
standing
is a cool
over
cat.
here with sunglasses, a cigar, a fanny pack, and a golf club. That's
It's
what
like
Roman
Mike
Harper
Ditka
brought
on
to
draft
SEC
day
Media
when he
Days.
drafted Ricky Williams with his Hawaiian shirt and said, "All right, going to the golf course now, guys."
I mean, the swagger that just walked into that room over there, and I mean, Peter Burns
He's
stood
a
up. It's like,
beast.
I gotta
I
get
remember
at. Look, he's over here swinging his golf club. I am sorry,
Some practice
but
hacks
this
in.
is. I wish I could show you. I might actually be able to
Turn that
turn
camera
my
around. Yeah, that's
turn my
good.
camera around. Let's see here. See
do
if I
wanna
can
see
show
As
you
long as
this.
it's not a vape pen.
Yeah, full cigar.
The
Can you
real-
see him
There
back
he is.
there?
He's walking. Oh man, you're.
Oh, no.
On the stream, it's a little spotty, but you can. He's still in frame now. But
No,
walking in,
stop.
smoking a
My
stogie.
computer thinks so. My
That's so
computer, this
great.
computer has an like the camera's on like an auto thing, and so it's tracking me
Oh,
and it
yeah.
tries to follow me, and
It does
it's
keep
like
zooming in on you.
it thinks I want them over there when I want Roman Harper over here with his golf club.
Mm.
The things you see at SEC Media Days, guys. The list is never ending. That just made my Monday.
Hey, maybe
I
that's
thought
a
Sister
sign.
Hazel
I picked
made my Monday.
Alabama
That
to-
one.
I picked Alabama to win the SEC this year. Maybe
That's the sign. That's the sign. Roman Harper with a golf club.
Let's
there it
go.
is. There it is. Everybody.
You got
You heard it
you got
here
A&M
first.
and Colton has Georgia. I think is that how
That's
we?
true.
Is that what we
I
done?
did.
All right.
Yeah, we can't waver from that.
That's
I picked A&M to win the SEC. I did.
Back in
I
July.
like that pick, Alyssa. I really think that A&M is going to be pretty solid. Now, a lot of that, like we
I like their quarterback. I like Marcel.
a lot of
Reed.
that weighs
Yeah.
on the shoulders of Marcel Reed. Can he take a huge step forward in his
Yeah.
ability to deliver the ball down the field?
Yeah.
That would be a huge help to Texas A&M because
Yeah.
I'm not worried about a defense over there with Mike Elko.
Yeah.
I like
that's,
Elko.
That's a guy that's going to
Yes.
at least
Yes.
scheme
I
them
do too.
into every single
Defense
game.
is gonna
I
be
do too,
fine.
and you know, a good friend of mine, David Nuno, he's going to be on our show tomorrow. Works at Texags,
Sweet.
and he told me all through last year A&M peaked too early, and that's why they kind of had that downfall towards the end of the year. But A&M peaked too early. Of course, I told him I picked A&M to win the SEC, and he's like, "Thanks for jinxing us. I really appreciate you."
They
I
also
go, "Well,
ran
you're
into
welcome."
No jinxes in Oklahoma.
They also ran into that Miami team that was a total wagon.
Oh,
I
sure.
mean, they weren't. I mean, they weren't going to lose.
Yeah, Malachi Tony is a stud.
Oh,
Well, that
Absolute.
front seven that they had
Absolute
on
stud.
defense though was just as good as anybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's going to be fun, but we're going to talk to him tomorrow about the Aggies. My friend Chessa Boucher going to talk to us about LSU as well. We got a good show tomorrow. Really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Breaking down more SEC football as SEC Media Days here in Tampa continues to roll on. Hey, this halftime hypothetical, solid work by you, Colton.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful, man. In Harry Potter they call it polyjuice potion, but we'll get
That's
to that.
right.
We'll get to that
There-
after
now,
the
hold
break.
on. There's
Okay.
two. There's two, Alyssa. Polyjuice potion is what transforms you into the other person. You're thinking
Oh
of
wait, no,
Veritas
the
serum.
Veritas serum. That's it. Oh man,
God, I
what if
feel-
we
now I
took
feel so stupid.
polyjuice?
So
What if we What if we took polyjuice potion?
Who would you
What
polyjuice
SEC?
into?
I don't
That's
know.
good.
Matt
Yeah.
Matt left us. Is
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Is he not a Harry
He's-
Potter guy? Ooh,
The
maybe
look-
not.
The look he
We'll ask
gave
him.
me would
We'll
freeze-
ask him.
would freeze long.
We'll ask him. Hey, Matt, you a Harry Potter guy? Nope. He said
Matt,
no. All
are
right,
you a
we're
Harry
gonna.
Potter guy? You know what Harry Potter house you're in?
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's the most polite way someone has said no to me in a really long time.
Most
I'm
polite
so-
way. It's the
I'm
most
so
polite way of
sorry,
calling us
guys.
complete dorks, Alyssa.
That's fine. Totally fine. Our halftime hypothetical after this.
Way to sweep the series, boys. This is halftime.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
At Hardee's, we don't love bragging about the size of our original bag, but we do love...
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
Do all the same, and I'll change a single thing. Even when I was the blind, for the heartache and the pain, gotta crawl throughout my years. I learned to be your man through the laughter and the tears. Situation nowhere. Right for a change of back first fan.
Find Halftime on 93.7 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Now, here's Matt Jones, Alyssa Orange, and Colton Little.
Back here on halftime, 23 minutes until we send things on to Ruskin and Zach. It's time to get hypothetical. And what better time to do it, guys, than during this season in which we find ourselves right now, which is just it's talking season, baby. It's talking season. So it's time to talk a little bit right now. And look, SEC Media Days, it's a lot of coach speak. Okay, it's a lot of coach speak. It's a lot of just these wooden performances that, I mean, these guys, it's very obvious they were not made to speak in front of a microphone to hundreds of people, but they were made to speak in a locker room in front of hundreds of their guys. It's very obvious, and that's fine. It's different for everybody. But I was thinking to myself, what if we gave these guys a little dose of truth serum? I'm talking like John Kiriakou, CIA levels of truth serum, because they had that out there. It's real deal. So let's say this. Every single coach at SEC Media Days, before they take the podium, is given a CIA-level dose of truth serum. And they must name one conference team and one conference coach that they believe is vastly overrated. Now, the answer will be played in that opponent's locker room before the next time that they meet. Which team should Coach Silverfield name? That's your halftime hypothetical today. Text in, call in 877-377-6963. Every SEC coach is given truth serum, and he must name one conference team and one conference coach that is overrated. It gets played in that locker room before they meet up. But which team and coach should Silverfield name? Would you guys like me to start?
That's the ultimate bulletin board material.
You got it. I'm going to say this. Coach Ryan Silverfield should get up there and with all conviction, all truth in his heart.
You're going to steal my answer.
You should say Lane Kiffin and LSU are completely overrated. Never won a thing in his life. The golden child. He's never won a single championship. I mean, the two-time winner of what? The Gasparilla Sun Bowl or something? Who cares? And say that LSU's time is done. Joe Burrow ain't walking through that door. You're never going to have another crop of five-star wide receivers ever again. Sam Levitt's not going to get the job done. They're going to run me out of town and still pay me my money. That's exactly who Coach Silverfield should name. Did I steal yours?
100%. 100%.
All I was going for.
Well, the only thing your colors look good for is catching a fish.
Amen.
Fishing lure. There you go.
Yeah. Purple and yellow. Give me a...
The only thing he's really good at is tricking people into paying him money. Yeah, so I would say the team I think is over Ole Miss. Did it have to be the same?
No.
I was going to say Ole Miss is overrated. Oh, my God. Please, give me a break. And they steal. They tamper. Just kidding.
They don't even know how to make a proper toddy. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Jeez.
No, I would say any team that's not on our schedule is what I would say. So any team, I would go hard. I would too close to missiles. We're switching to guns. And just let it fire at any team that we're not playing this year. If we're playing them this year, humble, respect. We'll see you on the field. If we're not playing you, you're trash.
He should just go, you know what? John Sumrall in Florida, they suck.
They're
That's
trash.
exactly what he
Those
should
colors
say. You
look
love that,
weird.
Alyssa. You love that.
I do. Ugh, those colors make you throw up. Gross. That kind of orange is yucky. Gosh, not on the schedule. I mean, you know what's crazy? Hear me out. That like most answers you would feel like would have been like Alabama. But quite frankly, I don't know if Alabama's going to be that good to where like, is it even worth calling them overrated?
They're properly rated.
They're properly rated.
They're just rated. I think that's exactly where they should be. I just, these coaches that get up here, and for coaches like Silverfield, and for coaches like Alex Golish and John Summerall and Will Stein, who we heard from earlier, this is one of the biggest moments that you're going to have in front of a television audience in your entire career, and you have to do it every single year. And we always, as fans, will pick this apart. We take way too much into what he says. We're going to hold him to something that he says in July when obviously things are different, but it's just, I thought about it. If you were to give these guys truth serum, what would they actually say? What do you think Ryan Silverfield would say about what he has to do and what the job is? I'm sure he'll be very forward and very candid, but at the same time, kind of like Matt said, he's not going to give anybody any locker room, any bulletin board material by any means. That's just stupid. But we pick apart and we think so much about what these coaches say during July when these are just hollow answers trying to do exactly what you're supposed to do, so people like me and Matt and Alyssa and everybody else down there at Radio Row have something to talk about.
Yeah, I think he'd talk about how his track records would probably speak for himself and how disrespectful it is that the media thinks he's the 16th best coach in the league. That's what he would say if he had some truth serum on him. Man.
I like it. That was fun.
That was fun. I like it. Lane Kiffin is the answer. I will have to say this, though. And you do always love, because we are media members now, coaches that have some fire to them, right? Like, I think when Bielema came, he tried to kind of, he kept it okay, but he did have a fire. He did have a little bit of a swagger and a cockiness to him when he first came to SEC Media Days. You look at Spurrier. Spurrier always came here like ready to set the world on fire with something that he said, right? I think Eli Drinkwitz has done a little bit of that. Lane Kiffin has done a little bit of that. Like, you come in here and you kind of want to have a little bit of a, oh my gosh, everyone's talking about you. Not in a bad way, but in a like, man, you came and you kind of like caught everyone's attention in the big room and like everyone perked up and is now listening to what you have to say. Like, I do think that there's a level of that works in your favor in situations like this. And I want Ryan Silverfield to have a little bit of like fire in him. Show up on Thursday with like, we're the Arkansas Razorbacks and I think we're the best team in the SEC.
Well, I see what you're saying. I would to make sure you're humble. Maybe year 3 after we won a conference game. We won 0 games last year. You can't. I don't think you can say anything but other than we should be properly rated. We won 0 games. Memphis beat us last year. We went and got their coach. I get what you're saying. Have confidence. But let's wait till we get some results with the whole chicken and the egg, coach to money type thing. Yes, we win a couple games. We beat somebody we're not supposed to beat next year. Yes, then come in there with a little bit more swagger. Right now, I think you should be humble as you could be right now because we haven't done a thing.
Alyssa, Razorback fans, and like most fans, they respond to just this infectious passion. We see it in our favorite Razorback players, the Billy Richmonds, the Gage Woods. I mean, the Matt Jones is out there. The guys that just show just this dripping level of passion that everybody wants to be a part of. Everybody loves to watch. And if Coach Silverfield's able to capture some of that on his own, he can elevate himself to a really good status here amongst the people of Arkansas, whether or not he wins a great deal of games in his first year or not, because I think that you're onto something there, Alyssa. You have to show a little bit of something because, look, at the end of the SEC Media Days, after you guys are all finished voting down there, Alyssa, Arkansas is going to be picked 15th or 16th. There's no question about it.
No, I guarantee you, I bet it's 16th.
And that's the only monkey that you need on your back. That's the only chip that you need to have on your shoulder. You need to get up there and just say, look, we may not finish first, we may not finish second, third, fourth, fifth, and, you'll have some guys.
But our effort, our energy, our desire is going to be better than what has.
You say it's what you've seen the last several years from Arkansas football.
That's not who
is
we are.
Not going to be the Arkansas football that you will see as long as I am here. You say something along the effects of that. You get the people fired up, and you just give them something, a little bit of hope to cling to, because hope is all you have to sell right now. Hope is all you have to sell until North Alabama rolls into town.
Yeah.
And even after that, your real chance, your real test is when you go to Utah.
Well, here's what I think, and tell me, and I know, hey, one game doesn't make or break a season, and Alyssa and I were talking about this last week. I think it's as easy as this. Week 2, September 12th, Arkansas wins that game. I think this team can make a bowl game. Week 2, if we lose that game, I don't think they make a bowl game. And that's how easy, that's how quick, that's how soon. Doesn't mean I can't be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I think that's the most important game of the season right now. Week 2 kind of sets the tone, understanding we're here, because that next week against Georgia, and then we've talked about that little 5-game stretch where I think they have a chance. But I think week 2 matters just as much as any other game of the season.
Mathematically, Matt, you'd have to get that game against Utah.
You got to get it.
Because if you're talking about those 5 games that you mentioned, and you maybe at best case scenario go 3-2 in there, you have to get that other non-conference game.
Yeah, you do. All right, remember, if you missed any of Halftime here, any of our shows on Hit That Line, just go and download that Hit That Line app, now powered by Taco Bell. Make sure to listen here on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast. All of this and much more coming up for you later on today. If you missed any of the show, we're going to wrap it up with our Gusano's Pizzeria final slice after this.
And for us to get this dub, I mean, it feels really good to win the series.
This is Halftime.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans backed by the team J.D. Power ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 7 of the last 8 years.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling mid-size SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
There it is. For the ages. Great things are happening at the Golf Nut. The all-new Titleist GTS drivers and fairway woods are in stock. Book your custom fitting today and check out the new Lab 2.1 and 2.2 putters along with special play number golf ball 0 through 99 in Pro V1 and Pro V1X. And while you're there, shop the great selection of Ghost golf bags, hats, and accessories. Everything you need for your game is at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
Budweiser, the American lager. Time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Welcome back here as we wrap up halftime on this Monday. Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, and Colton Little. And it's time for our Gusano's Pizzeria final slice. Our final thoughts on the show today. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the energy here at SEC Media Days is one that I've missed for a while. It's been really cool to get back at it. So my final thought is it's going to be a really good week. It's going to be a really good week this week.
My final thought is I'm excited for football season, so I'm going to stay in the same vein with you, Alyssa. What a great last weekend for sport. Was amazing. But you know what we do? We do what Bob Seger says, and we turn the page. In the
That's
past happened, and now we're going to move forward. I'm pumped. I'm excited to see what Coach Silverfield has to say Thursday. I'm getting excited. The closer we get, I'm getting a little more excited each day for this Razorback football season.
Yeah.
I'm in the same
And
place.
can I do one more?
Sure.
I want to shout out to Lindy. Lindsay has been
Yes.
nothing but amazing to me and my family my entire life. And I know his pops passed on, Jim Lindsay. I just want to give a shout out to the former Razorback great legend and the Lindsay family. Nothing but love for them.
Absolutely. That's, the passing of Jim Lindsay today, that news coming out, what he did for football, winning a national championship with this football team at Arkansas, and then obviously what he's done in the community, building, Lindsay Real Estate and all of the philanthropic things that he has done as well. There we go.
It's something I would do. Philanthropic. I like it. Yeah. I still can't say that word. I'm gun shy now for all week on that one. We'll by Friday, I'll try to get that lackadaisical in there. See.
There you go.
Yes, obviously, we'll be mourning the loss of the great Jim Lindsay, who means so much, not only, as you guys mentioned, to the Razorback football program, but also just to this state. And Alyssa, I'm happy that you get to be there as well. I know you were excited to get back into the thick of things down there at SEC Media Days. And my final takeaways is from the SEC Media Days is I'm going to forewarn everybody once again, do not put too much weight and too much stock into any of what these coaches are saying right now. You can put a bunch of stock into what Greg Sankey says. This is one of his Super Bowls, one of his few chances every single year to get out there and talk to the people. So you can put a lot of stock in that. But what these coaches say, I wouldn't put too much
Don't
into
do it.
I wouldn't put too much into it. You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to believe too much like I might start to do.
You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to get yourself hurt. That's all right. That's some good advice there, Colton. It is our final slice brought to you by our friends at Gusano's Pizzeria, bringing you the perfect slice made with only the freshest ingredients. Whether you're dining in, ordering to go, or planning your next watch trip, Gusano's has everything you need. Tomorrow is going to be an exciting Tuesday. Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt all taking the microphone at SEC Media Days here in Tampa, and our coverage of SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback Road. Go say hi to the fine folks down at the Stadium Shop. Get yourself ready for SEC football. That's going to do it for us here on this Monday. We'll be right back here at halftime tomorrow. So it'll be a fun one tomorrow. I'm excited, guys, to kind of hear what everyone has to say when this week is over, what the biggest thing we're going to learn out of the week. That's always kind of the biggest takeaway.
Who's up tomorrow, Alyssa? Who's on the docket for tomorrow?
Oh, so it's Kentucky. Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. There's the music.
Yeah, there we go.
I was waiting for the music to come. I could barely hear it. I thought I had heard it, but it was really just everyone around me talking. But I got a great view of the ESPN room and all the characters that have been walking in and out. We've got some great interviews for tomorrow as well. So stick around. Ruskin and Zach going to be on right after this, and we'll be right back with you tomorrow here on Halftime.
Ready to transform your home, backyard, or property? Start your next project with Sutherland's Fort Smith's install program. Ruskin and Zach will be live.